Rising through the flames, awaken the power held inside of me. Harness resilience through the pain. I'm a warrior.
Self-bio, sleep on checkmate. Are you kidding? Marco to the rescue. The blade comes out and he shuts it all down in one fell swoop. Absolutely stomping. Oh, what is that? Haven't even got to the bridge. Backbone.
Warrior, I'm a hurricane like Gloria. I won't fail my times now. Rise of glory, won't back down. I take the pain and I let it out. On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate. Oh,
Rampage through the side room. Everybody, massive for Bernard. Catches everybody else.
I'm a warrior.
Gonna look to make it happen. And there it is. Proper. Cannot be stopped.
On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another day of the Overwatch League here on the Apex side of the world. I'm Achilles. That's right, I am back, and I am overjoyed to be once again joined alongside my co-caster, Avril. Avril, how you doing? It's been a minute.
It has, I've been through a few different partners while you were away, but, good to have you back here. Hope you enjoyed your trip overseas, but we're getting back into madness straight away, and I'm not talking mid-season here. We're getting to Countdown Cup. 4th stage, the final stage of the year. Can you believe it? It's been a quick journey.
Yeah, it's been blowing by pretty quickly here, and starting things off. Maybe a not-so-quick series. We'll have to just wait and see. This is going to be the Hangzhou Spark going up against the Chengdu Hunters, and with the new meta, who knows what the hell is going to go on, because Spark at times, again, continue to look really, really good, and then they start really dipping pretty hard, especially in the last tournament cycle. So we'll take a look at the overall standings and see where things lay after that last tournament. And then we'll set our sights on the future. But right now, Shanghai Dragons, of course, have overtaken the Seoul Dynasty, being able to best them in that last grand final.
And that's what winning the stage does to you. It was a pretty decent grand finals, to be honest with you. Longer than the kickoff clash. Equal distance to mid-season here. We went 6 maps, 4-2 for the Dragons. It was a mostly Dragons-dominated, I would say, stage in the Summer Showdown. But right at the end there, Dragons ended up dropping 2 additional maps, totaling 3 maps for the entire stage. That's right. The record, I believe, at the end of the entire stage was something like 28-3 in terms of how many maps won versus maps lost for the Dragons. So it was an incredible stage for the Shanghai Dragons with Seoul Dynasty pretty hot in their tails. The rest of the teams, though, really were outclassed by those two. Hangzhou Spark in particular. They are still currently 3rd in the season standings due to the fact that their mid-season and kickoff clash tournament stages were pretty good. But Summer Showdown, they went 1-5, so only picked up a single point in all of our previous stage, and now that gives the opportunity for other teams to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be grateful at that point that you had such a great start to the season just so that you still are in contention at the moment. We'll see how they fare now coming into this next tournament cycle and whether or not they're going to be able to bounce back to that previous Hangzhou Spark that was very much at the top of the standings in APAC. Well,
there we go.
I was going to say some new faces, but we don't have the faces to go with it, so some new finger guns alongside some very familiar faces. But yes, exactly. We've got Shine Alpha E, of course, going to be starting here for the Hangzhou Spark. Gushwei will be coming out the gate, but then we have Neko and Teru.
So this probably comes as a surprise to everyone that didn't catch up on, I was going to say off-season, but let's just call it a stage break here, where between Summer Showdown and now the Countdown Cup, the Spark made some changes to the team. They were not pleased with their performance, obviously with the 1-5 record shown in the Summer Showdown. They attributed some of the weakness to some complications of the backline. Coach Changun and Supervisor Anu released a video on the Spark YouTube channel, so go check that out if you want to get the full rundown of why they've made this decision. But the bullet points are essentially that they feel like they needed a shake-up in the support lineup. They wanted more options to play through in the support lineup, and to give some competition to Super Rich and Irony as well for a starting position. So they brought in Neko, who is their assistant coach. He's kind of doing a Jake thing from last year, and Teru, who comes in from Team Diamond in Contenders Korea, but also of Vancouver Titans the previous year before that as well. So this is what Spark are going to be doing in terms of moving forward. It's not conclusive that they are going to run Neko and Teru together all the time. Again, this is to allow them to have more options for this particular meta in Countdown Cup. So I would expect that moving forward, we should see a mix of those four supports in some regard.
I'll have to see if that's going to be the case, or maybe this is just the magic that they needed. We still won't have Teru. Got to get him a webcam at some point. But here's the starting five for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, and there's no surprises.
No, well, they don't really have a lot of other options to play through, do they? They have Dicey still on the bench. Maybe he comes out for some stuff, and we are seeing some off-tanks come into play, but I think at this stage, Garga's there, do it all. He is there, the Jode on the team in terms of, you know, the tank that kind of has to play everything, that can play everything. I have high hopes for the Chengdu Hunters coming into this this Countdown Cup early stage, especially because Chengdu as a team seemed to do well in the early matches and then falter at the end. Something about that last week for Chengdu is always not so great for them. In Summer Showdown, all they needed to do was win one game between Guangzhou and Valiant. They had to beat one of those two teams to qualify into the tournament. They didn't do that. They lost to both very tragically. So hoping for the best now for Chengdu moving forward, especially now that we're moving into a Sombra Tracer-esque kind of meta, which is fantastic for players like Leave and Jumu, because my suspicion is that Leave gets to go back on Tracer, and Jumu gets to play his Sombra from last year, which, as you'll remember, was pretty damn good. Gaga gets to play Winston again, Monk onto Ana, Nisha playing some Lucio. Really, for Hunters, I think they've lucked out on a fantastic meta, fitting their hero pools, and so importantly, once again, the cream of the crop right at the top there, putting Leave on Tracer, so important for the team.
Yeah, like that. We got to see a little bit behind the curtain there from Monk, just trying to find his earbuds, it would seem, so that he can get in his seat and get ready to go. So we'll see how these two teams square off against each other. I mean, you know, obviously I had a little bit of a step away, so I'm a little bit out of the know. Got to watch a little bit of NA, but I never really judge NA too hard as far as, you know, what is going to be the best, because it's North America.
I mean, they're playing a risk on that. It's hard to take them seriously. What's going on there? It's a bit ridiculous. Like, let's just chill out a bit. Atlanta, let's just chill out a little bit, guys. It's a little bit crazy. We're not going to be doing any of those shenanigans over here, trust me. I hope, anyway. I hope to not hear my words on that one. Gushwei Gaga, do not disappoint. No, they're playing Winston. Come on. We got Gushwei in here. He's here to play Winston. You got Gaga in here in what is, from what I can gather, a Winston meta. We have seen some gameplay in Contenders Korea as well. And now we've seen a bit of NA. It is still, I would say, mostly dive favored. You're basically seeing Sombra plus something else in the DPS line, whether it's Sombra Tracer, Sombra Genji, Sombra Sojin, and then you're seeing mostly dive tanks, exception of, you know, some Sigma and Circuit Royale, etc. That's where he would get played. And then your supports is a mixture of Ana, Lucio, Brig, some double flex support in there as well. It really is quite similar to Mid-Season Madness, which I think you and I quite enjoy, because that was a brilliant tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, so I think so far, for the most part, like, a lot of them have been pretty good as far as the finals, at least, are concerned. So it's been a very entertaining year, and hopefully that doesn't stop as we get ready to go into the last tournament cycle ahead of the playoffs and whatnot. So Countdown Cup, please deliver, and please deliver unto us a Monk relatively soon so that we can get into the action, because that's what we're here for. We're here to watch the game. We're here to see these two teams clash, but until Monk has his earbuds in and his audio all sorted out. We're not going to be able to do that. So hopefully he'll be taken care of quickly. We can get back up on cam and then be able to jump straight away.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the Hangzhou Spark, because I kind of spoke to Chengdu's strengths in terms of what I expect out of this team. And for the Spark as well, right? You know, there really isn't any more excuses for, you know, traveling issues. You had Irony and Alpha E coming in a little bit late, especially Alpha E. Last stage, going through quarantine, arriving in China. I do feel for Irony a little bit, because it's like he's finally in China with the team, and now he's kind of benched. Again, we'll see on that one what the support situation ends up looking like in future maps and matches. Alpha E most likely here to play with Tracer, which means for Shy, some decisions need to be made. You are the Spark. You know Shy's one of the better Sojins. Yes, she did cop a very slight nerf in the sense that she can't charge her railgun as quickly on non-player targets like shields. But for the most part, Sojin is still as good as she was in Summer Showdown, right? So I don't think teams are really shying away that much from the Sojin. I expect that Hangzhou Spark, if they want to succeed on Shy's hero pool, Sojin should still be a pretty top-tier pick. That being said, though, the Sojin, sorry, the Sombra needs to be talked about here now. Sombra has been missing from the first 2 metas that we've seen because she just, well, 3 metas now, because she just wasn't good. Her numbers were not good enough. Now she hacks for nearly twice as long in terms of the silence duration. That's more than enough to enable a dive. Do we see a Sombra Tracer combo out of the Spark? And if we do, how good is it going to look from Shy? Because that has never been one of his power picks.
Yeah, that's definitely something that, you know, has very much caught my eye. Because, you know, I heard that there was going to be some buffs to Sombra, but just given the way that the year has gone, things have been looking in Overwatch 2, it's like, okay, well, that probably won't be enough, but apparently it was enough. I did not pay close enough attention, evidently, so I am curious to see who is going to be running that. I mean, the side of the Chengdu Hunters as well, because it's not really going to be in the wheelhouse of either of their DPS. So if they themselves
Jimmy
want
played
to be
it all last year. Jimmy played it extensively last year, so
but was it?
I would say that
great. I don't remember it being that great.
But oh, I mean, come on, they were the only other team in APAC next to Shanghai that really nailed Sombra Tracer ball dive.
Maybe I'm misremembering. This could just be, you know, I turned 30.
You forgot about Countdown Cup. You forgot about some Summer Showdown's Countdown Cup. Chengdu, they were brilliant on that. They were one of the only teams to like legitimately beat Dragons at a BO5 in that Sombra Tracer mirror.
I think this is what here's what's happened. I turned 30 while I was away, so I think that the brain rot is setting in. I'm starting to forget things, and also I think that I've just been Genji pilled by Jinmu because he's been so damn good on the Genji that I'm forgetting everything else that he's been good at, other than Pharah. So maybe that's just the case. Either way, we've got all the players in their seats, headphones on, earbuds popped in as well. So we should be able to get underway, and I can stop embarrassing myself by forgetting things from the past. Here is our map set. We'll be kicking things off on Nepal for control. And we'll go ahead and head over to Paraiso and then into Junkertown. Hopefully I said it right. I don't want to be like Jaws. And then Colosseo and Ilios.
Casters start the game. Okay, apparently we're going to start the game now.
All right.
Let's get into it. Paraiso is also a pretty strong Diva map. I will be interested to see, like, how these teams sort of work through the different tanks, because here's another major difference between the two regions. In NA, a lot of the teams do not have a main tank player anymore. Or if they do, that guy's like been permanently benched and he's not on the starting lineup, so you're playing your off-tank only. Which is why they're leaning more into stuff like Punk coming into play Junker Queen, a lot of Diva, a tiny amount of Orisa even. Here, I think we're going to be still sticking mainly to the Winstons, the Rhines, probably not Ball, maybe a little bit of Doom. We will see. It is going to be Nepal. It is going to be pretty much the exact lineup I said Chengdu would play Nisha on the bring instead of Lucio, but that's chill. Hangzhou playing a full brawl with Shy Sojin. And they've actually they've pushed really far up. Chengdu still in spawn? Swapping? Farah? Okay.
Yeah, they've moved back. It's going to be a Wrecking Ball swap for Gaga. Leave now going to be moving over to the Sojourn, and Jinmu is taken to the skies with a Farah. I mean, a decent way to punish, but with Hangzhou Spark being able to get first grab of this point, it's going to be a lot more difficult for the Farah to find some value here. We'll have to see how he's going to pilot this.
Gaga needs to contest this point, otherwise it will go over. Okay, there it is. Just a note, by the way, there's no Sombra, so Gaga's kind of free to play ball here because he can't get countered by the Sombra.
Very true. Very, very true. Well, Jinmu finding a spot. Shy, caught out. He's completely disconnected from the rest of the squad. Jinmu as well going to be taking down that immortality field nice and early. Dashes forward. Does get the wake up there on a good way. Not sure if that's going to go punished, however, because Jinmu is just fragging out of control. See, this is the Jinmu. These are the picks that I remember him being incredible at. It's the Pharah, and they make it work. He gets around the backside, finds Shy, and from there, it all comes tumbling down. That's now forced to swap, but Shy moves over to the McCree. Cassidy.
It's been so long. Fair, the Pharah is, if you were to associate one hero with Jinmu, you probably pick Pharah, right? That's the number one. And then everything else is like 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe not 5. I don't know how deep his hero pool goes, but we'll keep it there for now. Like you said, Shy coming back on the Cassidy a little bit more, maybe stable versus the Jinmu Pharah. It is being pocketed by Nisha as well, so I don't know that it's going to go super well for them. This is a great response by the Chengdu Hunters so far.
Yeah, you need to be able to get basically a 2-tap to be able to take him down. He's taking a nasty shot there as Shy makes his way out onto the walkway. He's trying to get these shots across, gets a couple taps in, but it's just nowhere near enough to get that elimination. Hangzhou Spark, however, grabbing the point for now. The wall comes up, the barrage going to be layered in once more. It's going to be Shy. Take it down. Jinmu with the barrage, finds the kill, and it is just death from above. Across the board, there is the wipe. Chengdu Hunters don't lose a damn person in the fight. They take it.
I mean, we're just straight back in 2021. This is exactly how Chengdu played. Their entire compositions, everything they ran. Monk had those signature 3-man Byronets here. He just got a 4-man that we've seen here before. I'm all nostalgic today. I mean, the only thing we're missing is Late Young on the Diva, and then we'd just be fully complete. Chengdu Hunters looking like they're large and in charge here. Spark need to just kind of try and force his point with this Blizzard, but they lost a player.
Yeah, Anti's out on the 2 as well. Alfie getting tagged low and just will fall. Shy will manage to find one with the magnetic grenade. It's going to be Monk out of the picture, meaning that they don't have a nano boost, but with everybody else just getting taken down, they just don't stand a chance. It's now going to be Final Fight territory for this first round. Ults abound. Held here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. They nearly have 5 to work with, but Chengdu Hunters have 3 of their own, so they're just not letting them get close.
This team almost needs to, like, Deadeye speed in to force Jinmu away so that he can't damage them as they rotate. The most difficult thing to do is to rotate on point without taking a bunch of damage from the fire. Once you're on point, you can Blizzard and play for Shatter. That's the goal.
Rail shot taking one low. Immortality field already out of the equation. Now Neko is gone as well. Both of the supports have fallen. There's a Shatter, but the push to the side. Gaga denies even the pin. Gushwei just cannot do a damn thing in this fight. And honestly, I think that Hangzhou Spark are going to regret not just being willing to meet Chengdu Hunters in the Winston matchup. They come up with something different. The Chengdu Hunters, they flip the script. They go ahead and say, okay, let's just swap over the far end ball. And they manage it so well.
Well, that's like the peak of Chengdu's strength. Like, Ball Pharah is the absolute right at the, you know, the tippy top of the summit for what Chengdu want. That's the peak of the iceberg for Chengdu, really is what it is. Hangzhou Spark, I don't fault them for wanting to go towards a Rhine-based composition. I think Rhine-based compositions have a bit of merit to be played in this current meta. Village in the past has had some good value for it. Let's take a look at that massive bio again. But yeah, once they start to get on the back foot and they're struggling to deal with this fire, and by the way, Cassie's not going to be good enough to deal with that, despite what Silver players think. The Hangzhou Spark, yet they lose with like 4 ultimates on board just because they have no value to beating this fire.
All right, well, this is looking a bit more normal now. There's handshakes done in the interim. So Winston's going to be out the gate. Gaga getting bullied around just a little bit here. Going to be hacked out, but Gushwei, he gets the hack and the anti-Monk. Able to nail him. That's going to be the first blood found for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Jinmu cleaning him up. Shy's still going to be leading, however. So he also does find Gaga. But position is there for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, so first lockdown on the point should be theirs. Minor contention, but there you go.
But okay, should be dead here. Yeah. Oh. No, not quite. The recall save his life, but not quite winning the fight just yet. Hunters have control of the point, low HP, but they've recovered. Allow the flip.
It's a quick flip. Okay. Well, not being able to kill Alfie costs them the points, and now it's going to be the Hangzhou Spark in control, taking the lead. Shy, Invist, spots out Jinmu. Will be relaying that, obviously, to his squad, but he wants to get into the back line. He wants to find the dive here on a Monk. They get the hack. The dive is there. Gushwei falling low. Nade comes in as well. It's some healing there from Nisha, and Monk manages to survive. No punish, however, found, so Hangzhou Spark still hold this.
Gaga placed the bubble directly on top of Monk, and Shy can get the damage, and Nisha with the body block as well. Brilliant stuff. Stick, possibly, not quite. EMP available for Shy.
Leave now. Pulse of his own at the ready. Doesn't even need it. Just gets on top of Alpha. He takes on both DPS with melee swings. Finds those kills. The cleanup is going to be there. The Chengdu Hunters will be able to wrest control away from the Hangzhou Spark. So 39% going to be established. Chengdu Hunters now moving up at 10.
I think Shy might have whiffed his EMP a little bit there. He didn't get a straight memp on 0, but he only caught the one player and leave. I believe he was the only player hacked out that I could see.
I think so, yeah.
And leave with a double kill there will finish it off. And for the record, by the way, Chengdu Hunters for now about a round and a half have still only lost 2 players. Gaga and Monk are the only 2 deaths on this entire team over all of Village and now half of Shrine as well. Terror hacked out. Nano is available. Should be a Nano fight coming in for the Hangzhou Spark. Jimmu, though, look for this setup. The EMP just waiting for members of Spark to come out. He might even just do it now.
Yeah, he just pulls the trigger on it. There you go. Finds all 3 of the targets. Chasing around the back, looking for Terror. The sleep dart not going to connect. Monk, however, going to be traded off screen. Shy managing to get on top of him, so does manage to find that elimination, but it's going to be both supports here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, and just 1 member lost on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Gaga with that Primal goes ahead and cleans up Alfie. Gushwei just going to try to exit, which it looks like he should be able to successfully do. Gaga goes for a little bit more with that final leap. We'll just be poking and prodding, trying to get the next Primal ready.
Hacked out. Has to be a bit careful here, but again, only 1.75 seconds is the new buff on the silence duration, so Gaga still can jump away. Pulse Bomb available for leave now as Hunters take control 70%. They're nearly double to what Spark have. Just on the side room is leave, and as Spark approach, let's see where that Pulse Bomb does indeed land. A lot of folks on Terry. You can see that Terry is almost always hacked out.
Recall already used there from leave, so might have to play this a little bit more cautiously until he has that available. Somebody jumps in front of him and presents himself for a Pulse Bomb stick. So for now, we do see it still held. Gaga going to be anti out. The Pulse Bomb goes in. Does manage to find Neko. That's going to get rid of whatever remainder of that rally was there. Nullifies it. Hangzhou Spark currently holding the point with 58 XP. Gushwei pulling back. Just trying to stay alive as Leaf continues to poke and prod around the backside. Finds Terror there for just a second as well. Dashes in, grabs the Mega Pack. In the meantime, Gaga has been taken down. The point getting ready to be flipped back into the side of the Hunter's control. But with Monk falling, Hangzhou Spark might just be able to hold this one out.
Hangzhou Spark actually flipped the point somewhere in the middle of that fight, right? Hunters were actually in control, but they lost it somehow. And as Spark slowly win that fight, they've been ticking up on percentage points this whole way through, so that's very, very favorable for the Hangzhou Spark in terms of catching up. Only 20% in that way now. We're hoping for a big EMP out of Shy, or, you know, I say big EMP, I don't mean like large quantity of members, although that would be nice. I'm just meaning like a couple players caught that they can easily take out. So some pinging here, he'll definitely be pinging Monk out, getting Alpha E into the mix.
And the dive is looking beautiful. Shy able to clean him up, Monk also falling. Good cleanup, both supports now out of the picture. Hangzhou Spark getting ready to retake the lead and maybe looking like they can take us into a 3rd round.
Chengdu can still touch. They've still got Nano plus Primal to play through, so this last fight has the capability of being turned around, but they got touch now.
Any touch? Okay.
Okay, wow, I was getting scared there for a moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're just going to start things off like this. Chengdu already, but now they do get the touch, and Jinmu, he gets it canceled. What a sleep bet from Terror, who gives his life for that, but is it going to be enough? The man advantage still going to be there for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, and they have now taken control of the point, and now the onus is on the Hangzhou Spark. They do have the touch, COT is going to be forced out, but Neko is going to be taken down. Monk, the casualty right now on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Pulse Bomb out from Leaf, not going to find anything, goes a little bit wide. Fight still continuing, however. Hangzhou Spark occupying the point as much as they possibly can. Terror doing his damage to try to keep Gushwei alive. The Nano goes out. He keeps himself in the fight for a little bit longer. Shy now taken down. Gaga, the Primal, popped. He's anti, he's slept, he's in the corner. Hangzhou Spark need to win this out. They continue to try to move their way back in. It nearly ends, but they manage to get the touch at one last moment. Gaga with the Primal, however, finds a kill. They step off for all but a moment. And the Chengdu Hunters will be able to take the first map. Nepal is theirs, 2-0.
It looks like Gaga might have booped a couple players off. I'm not too sure there, but 4 alive for the Hangzhou Spark. They had already lost Neko. And that's going to be it. It's not going to be enough for the Hangzhou Spark. I don't think they had any more tools coming online. So, you know, both teams at that stage had spent everything. It was all going to come down to a final neutral. Who was going to frag on out? And the Chengdu Hunters had the capability. It was getting tricky towards the end there, Kilios. They literally waited, I think, within like half a second of C9ing the point Hunters. But they touch in time. They play through all the ultimates they had coming online in terms of Nano, Primal, the Pulse had already been played. Jinmu, unfortunately, getting slept by Terror's Sleep Dart to cancel the EMP. By the way, brilliant sleep from Terror. Ended up not being the defining factor there, but what a play nonetheless from the Hangzhou Spark, and a deserved mini comeback there, but ultimately still 2-0 for Hunters, especially off the fire on Nepal.
Yeah, a nice effort, and things looking a lot more close together when they do go ahead and play that, you know, that Winston Sombra style with the Tracer in the mix. So could be a bloody bout as we go deeper into the series. We'll have to just wait and see. I mean, you did mention our next map might lend itself to a little bit of more diva play, so we'll see if that pops up or if we'll just be sticking with the resident scientists when we come back from the break. So don't go anywhere, guys. Next map is coming up in just a few. And we are back. One map out of the way with the Chengdu Hunters being able to take Nepal to 0. Now we look forward to see if the Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to tie things up, because it looked a little bit more tight-knit, a little bit closer in that second round, but the first one with the FAR coming up, absolutely not. So the Chengdu Hunters very dominantly winning.
And I gotta say as well, Kilios, even despite that second round of Shrine being much closer, Jinmu and Leaf still had an infinite KD. They were the only two players that did not have a single death on the entirety of the map, not one. 8 final blows and 0 deaths for Jinmu, 11 final blows, 0 deaths for Leaf. So Gaga, Monk, and Nisha all had a few deaths each. Monk actually got targeted really hard. Seems like that's the common thread now for our Ana players or flexible players. They are kind of the primary target of dives. Leaf and Jinmu, though, flawless. I mean, they're able to get out. I mean, Tracer and Sombra are pretty tough to catch sometimes, but generally speaking, if you are the counter Sombra, maybe you can hack out Jinmu. Jinmu even got slept and had an EMP cancel. Didn't die in that moment, right? So very critical that for Hunters, they outplayed Spark quite considerably across the board in that regard, from the DPS perspective anyway. Alpha Yi and Shy, Alpha Yi in particular actually, had only one final blow on that map, all the entirety of it, so pretty quiet start from Alpha Yi on the Tracer.
Well, now that we move into our hybrid map, let's see how much of this we can see, because the last time we came to Paraiso, it wasn't... maybe we had one that actually made it towards the third point, but I remember the first exposure to this map, I only got to see point A, because
full hold,
Dynasty, yeah, and I believe that might have been versus the Hangzhou Spark. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I can't remember.
Hard to say.
We'd have to go back into, go back to Liquid Beat and have a look or something like that.
It was one of these two teams, I'm pretty sure, actually. I think it was either Hunters or Spark. Well, let's see how they make it now when they score.
It might have been Soul. It might have been Soul. Yeah, I think it was Spark versus Soul, and Soul must have full held or something. Then did that fits A-point Tracer stuff. So let's take a look at opening compositions for Paraiso. We have double Winsons on board. So as much as I say Diva, that's normally when you have an off-tank player as your tank player in the lineup here, because we have Garg and Goose Ray, both renowned Winston players. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of gameplay from Winston instead. The more interesting thing to note is that there's no Sombra for either team.
Misha under some fire and will inevitably die. It's going to be traded on the brakes, however, as Leave with the Dynamite will find Neko. Gushway now taken down. Big breakthrough here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters as Shai desperately tries to fight back. Will find Jinmu, so his first death of the series thus far is handed to him. That will certainly slow up the Hunters on this aggression.
Farming up a lot of... I'll charge for Jinmu though, not bad for a death so far. Monk as well, just working on the Nano, so we're kind of moving back into, okay, that's a headshot from Leave. That will actually just open up the Hunters to make a play. I was going to say we're going to wait for Nanos, kind of similar to what we had in Nano comps in Overwatch 1, but no, we're just going to go for it.
Yeah, Dynamite burn just to try to find Shy, but Gaga already got the job done. Cleanup is there. Jinmu just poking and prodding forward, just trying to keep them held back. Dashes away, keeps himself safe. The healing comes in. It's already going to be a second tick now snatched up. We have this last second contest here from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Need to see it sooner rather than later. There's a touch for just a brief moment. Gushway now moving forward. Jumps up onto the high ground. The bubble going to be used just to try to keep himself safe. Hangzhou Spark now need to keep this thing occupied. There's 4.7% left to go here for the Chengdu Hunters to get the cap. The Dynamite's going to be absolutely massive. Jinmu plays off the back of it. Dashes in. Finds the kills. 2 in reply as Gaga and Monk will both fall. Alpha Yi is just not going to be able to keep playing forward. Sliver of HP finally gets cleaned up. The cap is there, and it is 4 minutes and 40 seconds as we move into the streets phase.
Just so well done by the Hunters there. No vertical pressure from Hangzhou Spark at all. I mean, you don't have a Genji on that team. You see Alpha Yi trying to just keep his feet on the point as much as possible, peppering damage from the back end while Goose Ray's trying to make space, and Leave just setting up angles for a huge Dynamite. That was a Dynamite that catches the entire backline, explodes Neko where he stands. Our Chengdu Hunters have a major player advantage to cap that point. Some slowdown from the Spark. You respect that as we build towards some ultimates and play as well. Monk has now already used the Nano. It's Terra's turn to pop it onto, you'd imagine, Goose Ray. Could be Shy though. Nano clock of time could be possible.
Yeah, very well could be. Feels like the bailout for Gushway, who has been getting, I mean, just look at that HP bar right there as he tries to poke forward. The bailout, having the Nano there to help him stay alive, certainly might be more valuable. Have to just wait and see. For now, some minor contention there on the corner. Alpha Yi keeping it locked.
I was going to say, oh my god, this Leave is just pumping into the damage. Tyr, be careful there. The payload's already almost around the corner for the final approach onto point, so at some point, Spark have to kind of make some moves here. At least they're somewhat holding onto high ground. Neko's under pressure though. Jim is on top of him. And Hangzhou Spark falls back.
Didn't quite see where it goes. Gushway's trying to pressure the back line. Coach Gun there, Leave trying to stay alive, but he does get juggled into the corner. Gushway inevitably finding that kill, but now he's going to be taking a nap, and in the meantime, the rest of his team starting to fall apart. There's 3 kills found. Gushway, the Primal going to be expiring. He's trying to make his exit, and it's just enough for the Chengdu Hunters to be able to break through and start rounding the last corner.
Waiting for Monk to come back in as well. Nano's about to come online for this last fight. Spark as well. Trying to get 5. Hunters respecting it. They do not want to push before they have everybody alive. But a lot of ultimates coming online for the Chengdu Hunters. Again, I don't really know where the Bob went, but it was enough to at least allow the Hunters to continue pushing. Leave got damage done regardless. Ate a full primal from Gushway. Hunters gave up a lot of space though, so Nano Blade to push on in and Primal if they require it.
It's 2 minutes drained away. They're looking to go ahead and add some more to the clock now. Nano goes out, just keeping him alive. Taro under fire, but Shy comes in, overclock at the very last second to go ahead and get the punish. Jinmu going to be taken down. Alfie, you traded out. Lee finding yet another headshot here onto the Tracer. Shy ignoring the Winston widely, just turning his sights over to the rest of the members of the Chengdu Hunters who are playing over near the card. Gaga comes to their rescue, however, drops down the bubble. 90 HP, they manage to keep him sustained. He is still in this fight, and he is chasing it. He's looking for Gushway, but Gushway manages to grab the Mega Pack just in time to stay alive. In the meantime, it's going to be yet another trade out here onto the Brigidas. Gushway antied. Gaga this time will manage to get the better of him. As Alfie just dashing around here on the card, having swapped over to the Genji after dying on the Tracer. Just trying to keep things occupied, trying to keep this locked in place, but he himself is taking an immense amount of damage. Can they keep him sustained is the question. Ducking and dodging.
So far, so good.
Seems to be good. Yeah, and that's going to be Gaga making his leap. Goes ahead, exits up onto the high ground. Hangzhou Spark.
Chengdu back out. Yeah, Chengdu have to back out now. They just could not kill Gaga. No, sorry, they killed Gaga. They couldn't kill Gushway. Chengdu could not kill Gushway at all during most of that fight, and eventually, Shy just kills everybody on the Chengdu Hunters. I mean, he starts out with that frag onto Leave during the overclock, I believe, or just as the overclock finishes. And then eventually, Chengdu have the play advantage. They're trying to chase down this one Winston player who refuses to die. And then everybody else in Chengdu, one by one, start getting fragged up by Shy and Spark with the player advantage on the respawn as well. Shy continues the rails. Took a while for Shy to come online, but once Shy's online, my goodness, is he fragging.
That he is. Was a big punish. Just help get rid of that Dragon Blade from Jinmu. Save Teru's life in itself is enough of a butterfly effect for them to go ahead and go on to win the rest of the fight and hold this card. From 4-minute 40-second start, now down to 50 seconds remaining. It's been a good hold with Shy dead off the rip, and that is the win condition basically taking down the support, trying to retreat, but here comes the Primal Rage. Juggled into the corner. Neko doesn't stand a chance. No sleep guard available. Taro, just a matter of time. Pushed into the corner. He's going to fall. Alfie does pull the blade, but he's got a sliver of HP, and he's just can't even get out of there. The dynamite burns him down, so it's a blade just for Nisha. The rest of the 4 Chengdu Hunters members are more than happy to go ahead and push this cart forward. Now 2 minutes remaining to try to get to the finish.
And the fact that you don't see Alpha U or Teru swap means that they had basically now wasted those. So this was not a case where they were looking to change heroes anyway. They just made the most desperate play possible, playing a Nano Blade 2 versus 5. Get 1 kill, which is probably even more than you'd expect out of a kind of 2v5 situation. The Hunters will happily take it. The Hunters' timing for Gaga's Nano dive-in was flawless. I mean, killing Shy off the rip, as you mentioned, the most important play to get down first. That 5v4 is everything for the Hunters as they push on through in the final attempt. Now 120. Might actually have a couple attacks in it. We'll see how it goes, but it'll be the final stretch nonetheless.
Well, the dive yet again there. On to Leave, but this time he had some peel available. Gushway's well into the back lines of the Primal rolling. He's looking to try to get a corner here onto anybody that he can possibly find, but just knocking people away. Now he's got to make his exit. Goes down to 20 HP.
He won't die. He won't die.
He does not die. That was the crucial aspect of it. Shy, again, just holding on to this overclock. Slides away. Dive comes in. Gaga trying to outpressure him. Just forces position. Shifts him back. Making him break line of sight. The cart in the meantime being escorted forward here by Gaga. Now rejoins on the high ground. He's trying to keep his team protected, but he's actually going to get punished. Alfie managing to find the kill. Stays alive, and once more the Chengdu Hunter is going to have to reset. Now 30 seconds remaining.
That's rough as well, because Hunters are trying to force payload distance to make sure that this Bob actually has value. So if they can get the payload towards that final corner where Bob has excellent sight lines, that's the max value of that. If a Chengdu Hunters and Nano Blade as well to force the space, now we are definitely into final fight situation. There's Nano and there's Rally on the other side as well, so I think Jimmer's going to have to target Neko down, get Rally, get rid of the Rally, but now the Nano's just gone. Shy's got the kill.
Monk dead. Shy looking for more. Comes around the corner. There's the headshot. Leave is out of the fight, and this map, it seems like it's not going to finish. Or rather, the card is not going to make it to the end. Still is being pushed right now solo by Gaga, just getting as much meterage as he possibly can, but it is inevitable. As the nano goes out onto him, he will end up... No, it's actually on the Jinmu? Either way, Blade is pulled in desperation, and we'll only find one kill. The OT will bleed away all the same. We will not make it to the end of the game. Hangzhou Spark now as they get ready to swap sides. Will have a win condition in their pocket.
It's Nano onto both sides, Terran to Gushui, and Monk on the respawn onto Jinmu, but alas, by that time, way too late. I mean, that is basically the same value as Teru popping the Desperation Nano Blade onto Alfie for the B defense, but flipped around now for Chengdu's attack. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that? Shy, snipes Monk, snipes Leave, easy as you like, and Hangzhou Spark will get a defensive hold on C due to the fact that Shy on the Sojin, as good as he was in previous metas, if there's one concurrent thing that always works for Hangzhou Spark, you can just apparently just rely on Shy for the Sojin. And I gotta say as well, for Leave, great job with the Ashe initially, but once you get to C, I think the sightlines start to get a bit stifled. Ashe's value in terms of controlling high ground and being annoying from those kind of angles, stifled as well. Bob doesn't have good angles until you get to, I would say, the end of C, when you're trying to get that final push in. You shove Bob in the corner, he sees a decent amount of stuff on that final approach. Leave probably could have gone over towards either a Tracer or a Sojin as well to challenge Shy more efficiently. You could definitely tell that Ashe, at least from my perspective, had less value on that C push, which is definitely a bit of a problem area for Chengdu. But then again, maybe it doesn't matter what he plays, because if Shy just kills everybody, then, you know, you just lose.
Very true. I mean, it's two just equally huge deadlifters on either side playing the hit scan right now. As Alfie just going for a pop shot, swaps over. It's going to be the Tracer for him. Leave was having a good time being able to get the beat on that Tracer's head. On the attack, let's see if he manages it here on the defense.
You say deadlift, but that's actually happening now. Shy is 12 out of 22, so he currently is deadlifting.
Oh, there you
See
go.
if that continues with his move on forward. Same comps again, but this time Jinmu on the Tracer, so a bit of more of a rarity from the Chengdu Hunters. You don't normally see Jinmu on a Tracer. We'll see how that works out for him. Leave already under pressure down.
Okay, yeah, Alfie this time getting the better of him with the Tracer. Gaga, quick leap up here onto the high ground. Hops back down. Really just duking it out with Neko, but Neko is enough. He manages to find that kill. Shy, antied out, does end up falling. Still looking to push that a little bit more aggressively, but Jinmu gets around the back, does find that elimination in the end, but with Nisha falling, it's going to be a big opening here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. You can start occupying the point and ticking up.
They need to just wait for respawns now. Like, they'll have all 5 available for the final push. I think they can retake. Gaga's alive, Jinmu's alive, right? They have the opportunity to touch. That's all, only thing that matters here. So happy to give away 2 ticks and then come back in for that contest. And they will have a Nano as well to play through, and slightly ahead in Teru, most importantly. They'll probably go into Gaga.
Jinmu dashing down, not contesting for now. Gaga getting pushed back over onto the point itself, actually. A Shy heavily under fire, but now moving up, trying to get the pulse, but it's a slide away. Slyly, Shy will make his way out. Cap still coming in. Jinmu taken down. Shy finally does get punished. Gaga finding that elimination of Primal. Here from Gushui, just juggling Leave into the corner, looking for that kill. Eventually does find it. We're taking low, taken down. Gaga finds the kill. Looks like the Chengdu Hunters might be able to win this out just barely enough to be able to hold this.
Can't quite find the targets here. Gaga's kind of caught between chasing Alfie and going for Gushui, who, by the way, was on 1 HP again, but once more just refuses to die. Alfie gets taken down by Jinmu, and Gushui gets away. But the most important thing is that Hunters do hold. Gushui holds onto Primal. Super important for remaining fights here, and 2 minutes is gone, but successful retake nonetheless.
Yeah, very nicely done. Solid hold already, setting up the Hangzhou Spark to have less than what the Chengdu Hunters started with.
Oh my goodness.
On their Streets phase, but what a shot. Leave out of the fray. Jinmu tagged low. The dive coming in once more. Gaga just trying to force Shy's position. He just caused him to change around just a little bit here. He's still under fire. He desperately needs some help, but there's no help to be found. Neko finds the kill in reply. Just managed to take him down. Also gets Monk for his trouble. So, hey, I guess it's a trade up in the end. And that will finally be the cap. So just shy of 4 minutes here, locked in for the side of the Hangzhou Spark as they go ahead and grab the card.
Yep. We'll see if it's enough here, because again, you might not have to finish the map, but you do have to get to the end. The final corner is where the resting place of Chengdu's attack ended. With the Hangzhou Spark, can we get any sort of snowballing coming through? The rally was obviously burnt. Nano available. You can just play that one for straight as per normal. We'll just allow for some free car push for now as Chengdu set up predictably on top of this green roof, and kind of just wait for Spark to get into dive positions as Hunters are happy to allow this push to go on until they're ready to go.
Powered and ready to fire.
Shy charged up, looking for a rail target. Spots one. Just goes a little bit wide there on the head. Can't find the instant kill, but okay. He wants to slide forward aggressively. Kind of botches it by bonking his head there on the doorway, but still is just pumping out damage. Finds Gaga in the end. Is looking for Jinmu. Tags him low a little bit more. Get the finish there onto the Tracer, and Jinmu eventually just dives into the line of fire. That's going to be the team kill with just Teru falling, I do believe. Hangzhou Spark now breaking through, getting ready to round the final corner.
A couple of whiff shots on Lee, but the nano clock still rips through Gaga. Knife through butter on top of that. Winston and Chengdu Hunters will at least still have players left to play through for this final engage and retake on B.
Ooh,
Gaga's
they're playing
primal,
sneaky beaky like.
Alpha E kind of lurking on the side. Yeah, there we go. Now they dive in.
Split. Just completely segregates 4 members from the rest. Is cutting him in half, and Jinmu again just jumps right into the crosshair. There's some of Alpha E. It's melted down. Shine finds the rail headshot there on the Gaga once more, getting the punish, and Hangzhou Spark looking like they're going to have a pretty breezy time getting here into point B. The cleanup continues to be found. Not a single kill being picked up here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, just getting ripped asunder. A great sneaky play there from Alpha E and Gushue.
Well, I was going to say, is 4 minutes and something enough for B? Jury's out, but how about 3:30 for C? Yeah, that's definitely more than enough. Hangzhou Spark have full capability of finishing and winning this map now. It's within their hands. They must simply get past a Nano plus Primal coming through from the Chengdu Hunters. Leave, by the way, now swapping over towards the Sojin. Better to challenge Shy. Has been struggling on that Ash for the second half of the game so far. Spark working on the next round of ultimates, including Neko on the rally. Payload still slowly pushing on through. Hunters biding their time.
They are one step at a time here. Jinmu nearly with the pulse bomb could be a big opener, but already the pace is going to be slowed down as Teru gets picked off. Nice backline dive here seemingly from Gaga and Jinmu to find that elimination. Get that kill. Hangzhou Spark just waiting for the reset.
Again, Primal is always going to be an effective delay tool, unless the rest of Chengdu are just dead and then Gaga's not doing a lot there, but otherwise looking pretty good. Jinmu with a brilliant sticky. We're looking for that first blood and he finds it.
Well, Necker says, hey Teru, you're back. And then he just explodes. He just gets Thanos snapped, evaporated out of existence, and now they have to wait once more.
A 10-second delay for a whole pulse bomb. I think both teams are somewhat okay with that, but for Chengdu, just forcing Spark back is at least a small win. You can see how patient Shy is as well.
Ooh.
Found that Ray on to leave, but too long in the range, couldn't get the kill.
Oh, Gaga. They have him in the corner. He's trying to make it happen. Rally in response. Neko stays safe. Gaga makes his leap, knows that he has overstepped. If he stays in that position, goes back in for a little bit more, however, and he gets the stomp out. Teru taken down once more. He did let the Nano rip, but now he's out of the fight. Gaga trying to limit this a little bit, but ends up getting punished. Shine finding that kill to help the overclock. Picks up one. Leave has his own rolling. Needs to find some kills, but Alpha E gets on top of him. The pulse bomb is beautiful. Cancels Leaves. Ult shuts him down. Gushwick goes chasing forward, just making sure that Nisha gets pushed back all the way to the spawn room doors. He does have a rally. The cart's still inching forward. Gaga delaying it as much as he possibly can, but now he gives his life for that.
Threatening the cap now. There's not a lot left to play through. Nisha has to pop rally and hope for the best. No, Gaga here to delay. Payload's nearly there. 3-man push. And Chengdu is stuck.
Jinmu need to get the touch. He needs to have it here. He will. 2.64 meters left to go. Gaga now arriving here on the low ground as well. The rally rolling from Nisha. Ultless. Everybody else, but Jinmu now builds up that pulse bomb. He tries to get in behind. He tries to get the stick, but it goes wide. No damage going to be found either. Teru for now going to be antied out, but that will expire. Still 56 seconds to shoot through with a little bit of rollback happening here for the cart. Getting ready to go past 5 meters remaining. The push is coming through yet again. They push it right back into 3 meters now. Just making sure the Chengdu Hunters have to stay glued to this one. Gaga continuing to try to contest, gets antied out for a moment. The bubble comes down, keeps him protected. The rail shot at the ready. Shine looking for a prime target, looking for somebody he can assassinate, just like Nisha. Gets him in the head, takes him out of the fight. Now it's all on Monk. Leave, picked off. Gaga and Jinmu trying to hold forward, but the healing is just not going to be there. Gaga crumbles under the pressure, ends up going down. The anti is out onto 2 members of the Spark, but it doesn't matter. There's no one from the Hunters there to try to play off the back of it. And the cap will come through. The Hangzhou Spark will go ahead and tie us up 1-1.
And even had Shy not gotten the final frags to allow Spark to push across the finish line, Teru and Neko both had support ultimates coming online. They were just about to use them. They did end up using them towards the end there. Chengdu had nothing really to use. They were waiting for maybe a nano from Mug, possibly a pulse from Jinmu. time was not on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. It was for the Hangzhou Spark, and Hangzhou Spark will very firmly be able to get that cap and be able to get that tie up in 1-1.
Well, a series on our hands we do be having 1-1 as we get ready to go into our next map of Escort. We'll see how things fare from there, but already looking a hell of a lot closer than that first round of Nepal so very long ago on Village, and that's what we like to see. Hangzhou Spark, though, very much heating up, Shy in particular as well, looking incredibly deadly right now. So if things continue to trend in this direction, the Chengdu Hunters are going to have their work cut out for them. Leave in particular, the one who's going to be looked to try to deal with Shy on that Sojourn. We'll see what happens, though, when we come back from the break, see who is going to be able to take the lead and take this to match point. And we are back. It's time to continue this series, which is currently tied up 1-1. Hangzhou Spark answering back, able to take map number 2. Now the onus is on the Chengdu Hunters to reply, because they were looking a little bit wobbly there, especially on the defense on Paraiso. So we'll see how they fare as we get ready to move into our escort map of Junkertown.
That's the thing, right? Because attacking, they seemed okay up until the last point. It's really that entire defense. Aside from A, which they had a successful retake, and A was okay, but the rest of it was falling to pieces. Shy, kind of with the meat cleaver in hand, he was chopping Chengdu up into pieces as well. It seemed like it was just so much for Chengdu to deal against, and it was far too much backbreaking indeed. Jinmu, unfortunately, does not look comfortable on the Tracer compared to Alpha Yi. Leave, still playing a lot of Ashe there when I think, wasn't able to get a lot done versus Shy, and maybe the Sojourner would have helped out a lot more. Although even towards the end there, seemed like Shy had his number anyway. Gotta head into map number 3 here, Achilleos, and some substitutions coming online. Daisy in for Gaga, Burner in for Gushui. We're going to be playing off tanks. We're going to, I believe it's Junkertown. Could be on the Sigmas. That would probably be the prime reason, because otherwise, Gaga can play Zarya. He can play... what else would you maybe play here? I think probably just a Zarya. I mean, some teams might even think about a Junker Queen, but I think it's that or a Sigma. Both teams, generally speaking, look like they just want to get off the Winston for now.
Yeah, I guess just yet another gentleman's agreement. Just go ahead, shift away from that one. We'll see what they do have prepared for us. I mean, Dicey, like you say, the Zarya, if it were to come out at some point here, he has shown a good amount of proficiency on that. That was his debut pick all the way back on King's Row forever ago at the beginning of the year. So if he wants to bring it out again, at least you have some confidence in his ability to be able to perform on that pick, much like Bernard. So it's very much the same there for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but you're expecting the Sigmas, so we'll see if they do deliver. Because if nothing else, Chengdu Hunters, always a team that kind of delivers, the package that you didn't order. So we'll see what they have for us.
Right. Sometimes, though, you're hoping if it's a food delivery, you get an upgrade, like you get something bigger and better than what you ordered. In a rare occasion, does mean that somebody else missed out, but here, I see no other reason to bring in Daisy because, as I said, if it was for Zarya, Gaga would just play it. So the only specialist hero that Gaga doesn't really play is the Sigma that Daisy does have in the back pocket. Hangzhou Spark are hovering over the Junker Queen. I don't think it's impossible to play this here. We've seen, like Punk, by the way, on Boston Uprising played mostly Junker Queen in his match versus the Houston Outlaws. He's on the Uprising. And it's not that she's completely out of the meta. She's just a niche hero now. She's one of those heroes that you would only play in very specific situations. Maybe as a, I don't know, like a comfort pick as well. But no, I think if you're going to be playing Burner, you're going to be playing Daisy. Really, it's got to be Sigma versus Sigma. And here we go.
Yep, out the gate, there's those barriers that we know and love so very much, especially when Widowmaker's in the mix.
But at least there's only one.
Yep, exactly.
So happy about that.
Only be one. Or there could be only one. Mixing up my quotes here. Highlander.
See if Alfie stays,
that most of our audience probably haven't seen.
Yeah, it is pretty old. When are they going to remake that one? And
They already have.
Oh, really?
I believe there was a TV series.
I'll wait another 20 years and watch the third remake. Alfie's still staying on the Hanzo for now. I was going to say how long he might stay on this one for, but being that we are in a double flex Sigma mirror matchup here, the Hanzo will have a lot of value in breaking shields, so that's going to put a bit of pressure onto Daisy and the rest. As Chengdu Hunters, this is kind of the position they want to be the lockup. Now Spark coming onto that left side with leaving Shy and a duel.
Yep. Bit of a slow and steady rotate around the left side, but there is the shot onto Monk. Thought he was safe, thought he was getting behind cover, but Shy manages to find the head just a bit too quickly. He's well taking a nasty shot to the body. We'll go ahead and answer back. Playing through Daisy pretty much. Gets the headshot across. That'll shut him down for now.
Alfie is still kind of lurking around the backside. You can see on the left side of Leaves POV, and he spots him now. Oh my goodness, Alfie on 1 HP. I think that was it maybe a body shot from Leave. Had it been a headshot, Alfie would have died for sure. By the way, look towards Nisha and Neko. We are getting around the bend for the Ant Mectresses now. First ultimate's coming online. Neko slightly further ahead, and Spark will use that to push out.
Leave just trying to make sure that he is covered in case Alfie tries to get up on top of him, which he's
Look
not
at the
too
flex
far
differences.
off. Yeah, it's pretty massive. Only 66% built up there for Bernard. The flux going to get used by Daisy. Pulse bomb out from Jinmu. Not going to be able to find the elimination. Bernard cleaning up the immortality field as Monk has been eliminated. It's going to be the cleanup onto the supports. And Chengdu Hunters just going to be falling apart, broken apart at the seams. Leave, yeah, he's got an infra sight, so he can just basically see all of his teammates die. Jinmu able to pick up 2. Just trying to get them in this, finds the third, and suddenly, this is very winnable. Jinmu buying so much time here. Now has the cart contested, has some answering, covering fire from Leave up on that high ground as well. Bernard popping that grasp there, just trying to get some shielding as much as he possibly can. His own Flux now at the ready. Sends out the Accretion, not going to get the tag, but here comes the rest of the Hunters, and Bernard was not ready for that one at all. Turns around, and they just barrel him over. Chengdu Hunters managed to hold on the back of Jinmu's heroics.
How's he done that? How's he clutched out of the Tracer? Someone that doesn't even normally play the Tracer. He's come on through. Basically solo. It's him and Leave on the high ground, trying to deal with Alpha E. Jinmu, the only player on the ground with everybody else gone, holding the entire payload. Kills 3 on his own, basically. A little bit of help from Leave. And then gets a 4th kill as well. He's on a 4K kill spree. 0 deaths. And now you see the value of the Tracer coming on through. He's the guy that saves the point.
Just holding the line for the team. Now, this is looking a lot, okay, well, I was going to say a lot more possible, but Jinmu is dead, as is Nisha. Now the Onus is going to be on Leave. The Shy, however,
well,
very much coming up. Huge finds both of the supports. And, well, it was looking like maybe they could pull off the full hold off the back of Jinmu's heroics. It's like, well, Jinmu died first, and then it all spiraled out of control.
I'll tell you what, lightning does not strike twice. That's what we learned
Apparently
from that
not.
It
In
does
the same
not strike
position.
twice.
Yeah.
Or any position, not for the Chengdu Hunters. No Jinmu clutch, no Hunters win apparently. And Alpha will get a late kill onto Monk, who at this point has been close to Trance a number of times up, but just can't catch a break, and the kills don't slow down for Alpha Yeet. Which means just further positional control for Spark, further free push for Spark, and no shot for further kills, which means again no shot for Hunters to regroup as 5. That's 3 separated deaths in a row now, all maximum staggers basically.
I mean, look how pushed forward the Hangzhou Spark are right now. They have complete and total control, basically, of this entire B stretch. Just behind that secondary spawn room, it's pretty much the only spot they do not have. It's going to just be okay. Transcendence for Transcendence. The Flux on the back end here from Dicey gets to pick up onto Bernard. Slaps him down. That'll be the kill. That's a good start here for the side of the Hunters to try to regain some semblance of control. Nice little bounces here. As just a double take, it says, oh, that was Alpha E. Okay, spots him out, turns around, gets the elimination, and that will be the Hangzhou Spark effectively flushed out of the point.
It cost them a bunch of ultimates to get there, but they will get there in the end. And look at the payload distance. It's about 2/3 of the way through Junkertown, and that was before any real fights occurred on B. That was just 3 separated solo kills from Hangzhou Spark back to back to back. What kind of space can Chengdu hold now as we look towards Ant-Mectruses on both sides?
I question the use of that Transcendence here from the side of the Spark, because there was nothing really to force it out. Dicey had not pulled the trigger on the Flux yet. The Transcendence expires, and then Bernard ends up dying to the Flux on the back end.
I just wanted to
Bit of
challenge.
an itchy trigger finger.
I think Terra just wanted to challenge Monk, and that was it, you know. Transfer trance kind of deal. But you're right, the extra Flux really did turn the tide of that battle.
60 seconds remaining.
Certainly costly.
Now we're down to 1
more.
minute.
Yeah. Hunters just effectively draining the clock. Infrasight's still held, but seems like Leave with a pretty damn good idea of where everyone's at. Okay, Alfie's dead to a poison trap.
Alrighty.
I'd love to see a replay of that.
How about a replay of that one? Damn,
Yeah,
that was a
definitely.
good shot.
Okay, yep. Scrap the previous one.
Give me the replay of Shy versus Jinmu, please.
I mean, shades of Taimu in Apex Season 1 right there.
Seconds
Great point
That
blank
was some,
shot.
reminds me of NYXL Pine on this map. Alright, well maybe not as flanky, but we'll see. In either case, it was just an insane shot. You love to see those.
Alright, Dicey taken down. A breakthrough kill here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, and they need to be able to play off the back of this one, but Neko's going to take it down, tries to leap up onto the high ground, and look at the HP bars on the side of the Spark. Everybody is just drained so very
critical.
low. Yep, the kills continuing to be found. The supports for the Hunters under a bit of fire. Nisha trying to stay alive. Dash over to the cart, Alpha Yeet. Make sure that they at least have the OT forced
And they still
out.
have Flux.
Tries to inch this one forward. The Flux is still there for Dicey. Bernard has one of his own, but he needs a respawn. He needs his teammates to be able to buy enough time, and I just don't know if it's going to be possible. Alpha Yeet dashes out. The OT starting to bleed away. Shy going to be taken down. The Flux coming in. And that's just going to be the kill found. Monk getting the headshot there on the Taro. Again, a nice little tap through from the side of Alpha Yeet, but he will not be able to survive long enough to get the blade online. He ends up getting taken down. And that is the hole just in front of point B with the Chengdu Hunters.
score.
Yeah, look, I mean, when Chengdu really dig their heels and that was too difficult for Spark, you would think it was going to be a Spark kind of bulldoze on all of Junkertown after what they did on A. When they get Jinmu down, they start barreling through the A capture into B. 3 solo kills in a row. No fights for Chengdu, just insane free push all the way until the end. And then one turned around fight from Chengdu. It was, you know, the 2 trances being burned, Daisy solo fluxing burnout to maintain, to finally win a fight and get some point control back, some map control back. Hangzhou Spark never really found positioning again. I mean, despite Shy's heroics, getting solo kills, that insane headshot onto Jinmu, when you have this Chengdu Hunters backline control, Leave getting a lot of frags, actually. Leave doing a prime job on a Widowmaker on that B point. With Daisy holding strong, not dying, and having Fluxes ready to go. Chengdu gonna be completing a pretty impressive defense on B in what was originally looking like a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, and now we're very well poised to be able to take this to match point. That final section of Junkertown, usually we see, you know, point A, point C. Those are the 2 really heavy spots. Point B, most of the time you see teams make it through there if they get to A. Not this time around. Chengdu Hunters, a very real win condition here on the map for them to be able to move up 2-1. Shot starting to fly. Leave once more here on the Widow, but it's going to be Shy, who again gets the better of Jinmu. Great opening headshot playing off on this far right flank.
Jinmu can play Hanzo as well. It's within his hero pool. I mean, we remember that fondly from even, I think, the 2020 season where he really showed it off. I think, no, actually 2019. In either case, all the seasons he's played, he's been able to show it off a little bit. Genji is instead going to be the pick, so, you know, I don't hate it. I think it's got some reasonable value. Still doesn't quite have the ability to outpoke and burn shields and get past the double flex Sigma of Hangzhou Spark, but the flank pressure is what Chengdu Hunters have been relying on and winning from. So now we've gotten to the end of this kill box area, trying to get to the open. Jinmu needs to start pulling some weight to get them past that area. He's already in the back.
The Immortality field gets cleaned up, but Alfie gets taken down. Nisha finding that kill, leave with a quick little pop shot, looking for a target. Spot anybody the first time, misses the shot there on the Shy, who is under fire, and Jinmu gets into the back. Finds that elimination, now is just farming off these right clicks as much as he possibly can. Leave out of the fray, but seemingly the rest of the Chengdu Hunters are going to be nonplussed about it. To find the kills, the Genjis go ahead, meet and do battle around the corner, and it will be Alfie making his retreat.
And something Jinmu did really well in that fight was just kind of find Shy among the chaos. When Chengdu start pushing up and Daisy and Burnout caught into a bit of a 1v1, the supports are all looking at the tanks, right? No one's really covering for Shy. Jinmu used that moment perfectly to take down the carry of Hangzhou Spark, give Leave free sightlines as a Widowmaker attacking, and now Hangzhou Spark, they didn't have the confidence to come back, and I think they maybe were a little bit far anyway. Burnout possibly wasn't in position, so yes, they concede the A point, but what they pay for is allowing them to now have slightly better positioning on the initial B approach. So this entire high ground on the left that we can see here, give up the point on A, but they'll have at least a better fight on B.
Well, eventually they will have to collapse down. The cart already inched well past the gate. So Alfie spotting Jinmu. Knows that he's low. Wants to go in for the killing blow. The dash will do it. Flux out, Teru. Nice little follow-up there from Daisy. Finds both of the supports actually off the back of that one. What a play from him. Suddenly, I was going to say that initial pick coming in from Alfie might not matter too much, but the kills are still being found by the side of the Hangzhou Spark. So the all-in play here on the high ground, conceding point A, does work on the first volley, but there's still 4 minutes to chew through if they want to win this map.
It was nearly Daisy being saved there, but both Nisha and Daisy will fall along with the Immortality field, and Jim's going to be careful not to get tagged by one of these D12s. It's Chengdu Hunters kind of force a reset here, and they've lost all map control, so they're going to try and reapproach this high ground. Front-to-back combat. Oh, Neko went down to 1 HP there. Didn't die, though.
Oh, and Jinmu, yeah, hit with the accretion, ends up falling. Bernard, good for the follow-up. Alfie, Blade at the ready to try to match. Finds Monk there for a quick little shot. Again, Hangzhou Spark just continuing to win out. That's now 2 fights, effectively 1.
Chengdu's still holding on to ults. You could say that Spark won that one just off the back of that Matrix alone. And the fact that Burner just kind of rocks and kills Daisy. Well, this is where it now really counts. I'm sorry, not Daisy, it was Jinmu that actually got caught first. In any case, Chengdu now pushing up. It is Infrasight for Infrasight. Trance is likely to be burned here, waiting for the Blaze to be actually played in this fight. That will probably be the impetus for the Transcendences.
I mean, you have that, but Daisy also now has the Flux on the back end, so you can pop one and set up the Blade now. As there's the trance. Neko, however, shot Daisy, good for the follow-up. Gets a kill. Blade now going to be pulled. Jinmu looking for some targets. Just cutting away at this Sigma. One final slash. There you go. The kill is found. And that is going to be the defense is widely broken. Let's find some picks here from the DPS. And Shy, he delivers on one. Jinmu going to be taken down. Blade going to be pulled from Alpha. He gets leave. They look for a little bit more. The card's still inching forward. Getting back into that initial position is looking a lot more impossible here for the side of the Hangzhou Sparks. And now they need to play from the back of the point.
Shy hit an incredible shot. He's got one to Nisha here as well, but the incredible shot was the one to Jinmu, because if you saw from Jinmu's POV, he was like half a meter from being safe to the shield, the dice being put up, so he was basically there. I think half his body might even been covered. Shay just finds the top half that wasn't covered in the microsecond between him being covered by the shield and unfortunately being killed there. And for the Hangzhou Spark, I mean, that is a massive difference maker, because now Hangzhou get to play for their respawners. They actually get to hold some very aggressive high ground. They're way ahead of where the payload is.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because now the payload is being stolen away from them. Monk pressuring from down below, and right now it's just the Hangzhou Spark kind of surrounded on all fronts. Jinmu hooking and prodding away. They desperately need to get over to this cart right now. Someone needs to be able to get the touch, but I don't know if anyone's going to be able to do so, because everybody, the supports, they've been left alone in a room with Jinmu, and he is just slicing them up, and yeah, a bit overzealous there from Hangzhou Spark to try to reposition. They say, hey, it's been working really well from us, this entire defense on B. Let's go back over there. They do, but then they lose the cart. It gets stolen away. Alfie, after respawning, cannot get back over to get the touch in time. And that is the map taken away by the Chengdu Hunters. The lead is now theirs.
Yeah, and that's an incredible, by the way, I think map, generally speaking, from Jinmu especially. He controlled space, he allowed the clutch to happen on the A-point defenses to trace it, and then the attack as well. He really was the guy that set up most of those successful pushes, killing Shy at the start, allowing Chengdu to get that advantage, and then towards the end there as well, he and I think one other player was aggressing that sort of back line, very forward hold from the Hangzhou Spark, going for their, what was it, at Matrix window play, and the Chengdu Hunters trying to sneak the payload away while Jinmu gets the work done there, and he just cleans up that back line as the Genji. So brilliant stuff in Chengdu. Like you said, lead 2-1, and that was a great map.
Well, now in the lead, match point is theirs. Chengdu Hunters, can they close it out as we get ready to head over to Colosseo for our push map? We'll find out. Hangzhou Spark, though, need to dig deep if they want to extend this into a 5-map series. We'll see if they can do it when we come back. All right, welcome back. 2-1 the lead right now for the Chengdu Hunters as they were able to close out a win on Junkertown. Now we set our sights on Colosseo to see whether or not the Hangzhou Spark can pick up a win on push to extend this into a 5-map series. Could be 5-map Friday. Maybe it's back on the board. It's been a while.
We got Seoul Valiant. We got Seoul Valiant after this, so you know if it's going to be 5-map Friday,
It
better
could
be
be
in this
5-map
game.
Friday.
Hey, you know what? It is Valiant. They like going 5, so maybe. All right, let's talk about this next map. Gaga coming back in for Daisy. As far as we know, Burner is sticking in.
Yes.
And jury's on what that means. Now, Gaga coming for Daisy means that we are going to play more main tank picks for Colosseo. And even if it's Zarya, and I think Zarya is currently a very popular pick on this map, Gaga is the guy that's going to play that. So, but I would have to guess that if Gaga's in, they're going to try the Winston. I think Winston would probably be a primary pick. And then beyond that, we'll have to see what it looks like. For Burner, could be Doom, could be Zarya. I suspect it'll be Zarya. For everybody else, I don't know if Sombra's coming back. I think Jinmu might try the Sombra again here.
That could very well happen. Just watching, I don't even remember which teams it was yesterday. I was watching NA. It was, 5 in the morning. So, just trying to keep my eyes awake so that I can try to readjust my sleep schedule a little bit more.
NA viewing.
Get some more rest, because I've been going to sleep, waking up like 5 hours later, so the jet lag has finally caught me. I usually elude it, but it's been a little bit more rough, so it's just saying, like, I need visual stimuli to keep me going. So I was like, let me watch some NA, watch some Sombra play here on Colosseo, and also watched Doge get absolutely mauled in that series, but it is what it is. Anyway, we'll go into Colosseo now, focusing up, and Bernard seems like he likes to flash the Junker Queen every now and then. He shows us the Zarya as well, which is, I'm in agreement with you. I think the more likely outcome.
Remind me, what did Doge and Punk play there? Was it Junker Queen versus Diva or something?
Don't even remember. Brain was barely functioning.
Fair enough. So
Just like it is right
now. Well, it's going to be one Zarya and no Sombras, so both teams are going to stay away from that. Jinmu, to be fair, I think Soja and Genji, pretty damn good here. And in some ways, despite there not being Junker Queen, Spark can kind of play that comp similar to it. Obviously, they don't have a Lucio, they don't have a Junker Queen, but the Zarya is like kind of a step in for that. You can still play this aggressive DPS tank style gameplay.
Okay,
Shy can still do that.
Yeah. He can just rail Jinmu, just kill him. Why not? And that's going to give Alfie a nice little window to, well, catch up, I suppose. He's still down by about 2% at the moment. So his own poking and prodding, not finding nearly as much value. But crucially, he does stay alive. Rail at the ready. Shy taking the slide out, keeps himself safe for a target. Sees the ping from his teammates, knows that Leave is playing up around that high ground. Isn't able to spot him, though, so can't find the challenge from Northern
Monk's
kill.
one.
Got dive into the back again, as you say. Monk falling low. Gaga just trying to turn some attention onto himself, which he does so effectively. And the bot for now is going to be locked in a neutral position. 2.22 meters is all that has been gained.
Oh, Burner. Okay, Burner does
low.
cleanse that off himself. He's not anti anymore, but you're right. Still very low and gets cleaned up there. Chengdu, now the advantage.
Yeah, a massive window for them. Go ahead and start gaining some distance. Neko as well going to be taken out. Alfie falling. 3 quick kills found for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Now they can go ahead and start shifting the bot.
So good from Monk. He got 2 back-to-back bios there. One to Burner, one to Neko. Both ended in kills. And the Hunters are almost kissing the spawn doors of the Hangzhou Spark. This is the first major momentum and payload push we've had for the entire map so far. And despite Jinmu dying early to Shy's rail, I think you'll remember the initial neutral, Hangzhou only got 2 meters off that. So Chengdu held very strongly. And we're moving into Nano play now. Nano Blades, in fact, online for both teams.
Yeah, just about to be. Jinmu 5% away. Alfie has his. He's going to pull it first. Tries to get on top of Nisha, but now it's going to be the beat coming through. Anti-out on 2. Jinmu with a blade of his own. Dashes in. Finds 3 quick kills. Looks to cut down Bernard as well. The bubble saves his life for just a moment, but Jinmu will find it. Can he get the ace? No, he cannot. Leave. Takes one away, but it's a team kill, and that's going to be the butt scratch, as we so efficiently and officially call it, coming through from the bot. Checkpoint
I'm still just
attained.
going to call it a cap. I'm just still going to call it a cap, personally. Not going to lie to you. Here on the APAC broadcast, going to say it how it is. Here comes Leave on the overclock. Shy would love to burn ult it.
try to finish him off. They don't manage to actually pick Bernard. He does get top back up, and now he does have that grab at the ready. He's going to let it loose, but it whiffs. It doesn't connect onto anybody.
Nene would be proud.
That he would, wherever he's watching from. Well, despite the whiff, it seems like the Hangzhou Spark will be able to win out the fight. But it's so much distance off of one initial push here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. 87.88 meters.
Right.
That is monstrous. It was one
that
fight.
was off. Well, I think it was two-ish fights because there was also the Nanoblade in there. So we count this initial mid-fight.
Sure.
Then in the Nanoblade exchange,
That was
right,
barely
where
a fight,
Jinmu
though.
got
That was a
4.
slaughter.
Well, Chengdu did all the fighting. Hangzhou apparently had their hands tied, and now Shy will be the first
Shy.
one down here as Chengdu continue to maintain control, and they're about to clean up all these kills, surely.
I mean, this was the undoing of the Hangzhou Spark. The whole last tournament cycle was Shy dying first. He is such a big win condition for them. Him out of the fight just means that there's not enough throughput on the damage. There's only so much that Alpha you can do as again he was
Jinmu's
poking
going
and prodding.
crazy.
Jinmu, yeah, he's got the whole team backing him up. He's just charging forward. He is able to feast.
And as we wait for the respawns, Hunters will be looking for 100 meters. We're about to hit triple digits rather. Less than halfway through the map. And Spark are on 2.22, so they are so significantly behind. They're now more than 100 meters behind. At least they still have half the map to get it done, but Mike, I mean, at this point, you've got another Nanoblade coming alive for both teams. Does Jinmu just feast again?
He's going to go for it. Blade for blade. This time does get antied out, does get slept, so something tells me he's going to have a little bit of a worse time. But okay, he actually gets woken up. Now he's in the back line here with the supports. He's trying to get the finishing shot onto Teru. Can't make it happen, but Gaga is there for the alley-oop. Bot, in the meantime, has been stolen away and is shifting back over towards the neutral position. It is still making its way down the ramp, however, so Gaga could buy some time, but he wants to make his exit, rejoin back with the rest of the squad.
And they stole another 10 meters in the middle of that. I thought they were going to end at 102. It's now at 112. So 110 meter gap between the two teams. Spark have so much work to do ahead of them. I mean, Hunter's got that done in what, about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, roughly speaking. So Spark basically have to use the entirety of the rest of the map to get it done again. That long road starts now off the back of a rally. It's the only thing they got.
Okay,
Tempo
here
beat
comes
from
the
each
aggression. The beat comes out. They're looking to try to get rid of Neko. They're booping it away. So the rally, that green HP is not going out onto his teammates. The cleanup comes through. Alpha and Shy now out of the fight. It's just Bernard trying to stay alive as Gaga fearlessly pushes forward. He's got
Gaga's got both supports here.
Locked into a corner, yeah. Jinmu trying to reinforce. He just gets slept for his troubles, but it's still not enough. It's just a matter of time as Teru will manage to take one with him, but the bot again is getting ready to be pushing forward as Chengdu Hunters are looking for the cap.
115, 120 maybe even here. I don't know they're going to make too much distance given that Spark are right there. I don't think they can get a cap done either because Chengdu have to wait for respawn, so yeah, they will give it up. 116, but every single time Spark lose a fight, they lose just several more meters as Chengdu sneak it away. And worse still, Spark have to reset their entire distance, and so they can't even get back to neutral. Every single time they take a fight, it's back in this sort of midpoint, this neutral midpoint here. They can't make any distance. Look, it's still 2.22. They can't make any distance.
Yeah. I mean, still a decent amount of time left in the time bank here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but just given the way that these fights have gone, it take more than a miracle to try to turn this one around. Nisha getting jumped on, however, that is going to be a good start. Find that kill, but can they get more? Bernard with his own primal rolling, that will now expire, but again, Gaga into the back line, does find Shy. Jinmu going to be taken down, so it's not without a trade. The bot, however, still going to be firmly locked in place as the Chengdu Hunters refuse to give any distance over to the Hangzhou Spark. Dive in, Lee will be taken down. Alpha E. Yep, nice dash through. Alpha E, however, does get traded. Nisha getting some revenge from the previous kill. Bot now getting a little bit of distance, a smattering of it here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but the re-aggression is instantly there. Gaga into the back line. He's going to be antied up, but it doesn't matter. He's got that primal rage to rely on. Now it's going to be popped. Bernard just trying to zone everybody else back. Just trying to take them a little bit lower. Gaga, the primal, getting ready to expire. Leaps out at the very last moment, keeps himself safe. The bot has not gained anything here for the side of the Spark. Now the blade is pulled. Jinmu instantly finding one. He's looking for the second. Neko, a little bit too elusive. Does stay alive. The blade now going to be resheathed. And Jinmu will end up dying, but in the end, Shy will fall as well. Neko slept, killed. Nisha starting to frag out of control in the Lucio. And the bot once more is heading over towards the Spark spawn room doors.
That was incredible. That's like Neko walking up for the layup and Monk just slaps the ball out of his hands. The Chengdu Hunters will only, I mean, look at this. They're just used. They're just using Gaga to just shove the payload back into deep in Spark territory, and then he's just going to leave. By the way, Jinmu's come back on a Sombra now to be extra annoying. And I think for the last couple of minutes, build an EMP and win from there, it's looking pretty damn good. At this stage, even if Chengdu lose the next 3 fights in a row, Spark would still barely even get a cap going, and they should delete Shy.
It is beautiful. There has been times when Chengdu Hunters have struggled during this season where we said, where's the communication? And it seems that things have broken down, especially during the C9 moments that they've had many of throughout the 2022 season. But right now, it looks like the comms are crystal clear with those dive setups. Anisha does dive. It's going to be no beat in this fight. Overclock here from Leave. Widely not going to be able to find too much now. Is going to be antied out. Bernard goes back in for a second dip. Does find that kill. Monk as well. Left out here by himself, but he actually wins out the fight. Takes out Bernard. Nothing is
Monk has
for
been
free
good
here in this fight.
I mean, by the way, Alpha, he barely made it out alive as well. He got hacked and nearly died within that hack, but managed to dash away. And I think collected Nisha as a kill on collateral, just trying to dash to safety. Spark have saved up a number of ultimates, really good ultimates as well on their approach. And this is now the most amount of distance they've had the entire map. The bad news is they got less than 1 minute to play through. Shy will finally get his revenge. He's been knocked out clean by Jinmu for most of these fights. He will now find that kill. If they can get past Gaga, they can make some real distance.
Comeback here from Hangzhou Spark would dwarf anything that we have seen before. The parting of the Red Sea, water to wine. This would take it.
I'd add into the Bible.
Yeah, into the holy scriptures of every religion. Let's just throw it in. Yeah, they've got a plethora of ults to try to utilize. That's going to be the Nano Blaze. It's instantly shut down. Alfie is dead. Bernard going to be taking a nap. Gaga charging forward. Just boosted up. It's 2, now 3 kills found as Leave takes down Shy. No miracles today, it would seem. Bernard doing his damnedest to fight back. Won't find 2 additional kills, but Chengdu Hunters with a dominant start just absolutely crushed the Hangzhou Spark here on Colosseo. Since Push came out, since we started this year, this has been the map for the Chengdu Hunters where they seemingly always excel. The Kings of Colosseo do it once more, and they close the series 3-1.
Yeah, we see Hangzhou Spark there. They walk up to the port, and unfortunately, Noah's Ark is full out in the flood as the Hangzhou Spark as they get swept away here. 3-1. A brilliant map in the middle for Hangzhou Spark to take away, but ultimately, we're here to talk about the Chengdu Hunters on what looks like it could now legitimately be their return. I still am going to hold my breath a little bit because we often do see Hunters do well at the beginning of a stage, then kind of falter towards the end. So now the big test will be, can Hunters keep the momentum going? That has kind of been their curse as well. They look good to start with, they look poorly at the end. And this meta, however, more so than pretty much any meta that we've had so far this year, I think favors them really strongly. A lot of fantastic picks that they are all very proficient on. Any meta we can play a lot of Winston as well, play a lot of Genji, especially Sombra in here for a player like Jinmu. You want all that. Any opportunity for Leave to play either Sojourn or Tracer, you want all of that.
Yeah, it seems to be really good for them. But also, we should say, with the Hangzhou Spark trying out a new support line, so maybe we'll see some adjustments. Maybe it's just, shaking things off first match back and everything here for Neko and Teru. So we'll see some more of them and see how they continue to develop. But it was competitive at times for sure. Colosseo, definitely not so much. But there's one guy right now on my brain after the end of this series, one guy who very much helped lead the Chengdu Hunters to a concise victory, and that is our player of the match, who is Jinmu. Because, good lord, what a performance from him. Came out with the old favorites in the Pharah, and then showed us some new flavors with the Tracer, just absolutely pounding it every twist and turn.
That's right. I mean, everything he played today just seemed to be really good. The classics, which we know he's good at, stuff like the Fire, and a rare moment of Jinmu Fire where it's actually a very efficient place to play the Fire. It's like Chengdu look at it, they see the opening comps, so like, oh, they're playing Rhine Brawl on Nepal Village. We know how to play against this. We know exactly what to do against this. And out comes that Fire. And then this clutch as well, we saw towards the end of the highlights, the Jinmu Tracer clutch on Junkertown A-Plan. That one's in the record books, one for the ages, for sure. Genji being his most played hero across the day, though, today is the stats that we're looking at. And I would say that he had a better day than Alfie across the board on almost everything. I think Alfie still had some decent moments of Tracer and Paraiso, but look, you backed Jinmu today with the extra Sombra towards the end there and also at the start. Yeah, loved what he had to show.
The dive's just beautiful, sets up the hack. Immediately Gaga is there. They find the eliminations. And then Jinmu just always seemingly so self-efficient when it comes down to his Genji play. I mean, we think back to that 1v2 kill on Dorado and whatnot where he completely outplayed. I don't even remember who it was.
I think it was Shanghai. I think it was Shanghai, pretty sure. Lip and somebody.
That sounds about correct.
Lip and
It was definitely an impressive team. So it was either Shanghai or the Dynasty as far as like just how crazy it was that he was able to pull that one off. But yeah, Jinmu continuing to look great, continuing to just kind of deepen his hero pool as well. So just happy to keep my eyes trained on him and see the continued evolution of that player as well as the Chengdu Hunters. For the fans out there, keep your fingers crossed that this isn't just that early season flash in the pan Chengdu goodness and that it actually holds up the whole way throughout, because we know that everybody on this team is talented enough to be able to make a deep run and to be able to make it into the playoffs and put on a strong performance there. So we'll keep our eyes trained on them. But we're going to go to a quick little break. When we come back, myself and Avril will be breaking down a little bit more from this first series, and then we'll get ready to go into our second one of the evening. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, and we are back. It's time for our little game break here. So, I mean, off the rip, we got to see the Hangzhou Spark, got to see the Chengdu Hunters. If you guys are just now tuning in because you're a Dynasty or Valiant fan, then welcome. But we had a 3-1 series, so 5-map Friday off the cards. But 4-map Friday, still very much a possibility depending on what happens in the second series. But let's get into it. Strong showing from the side of the Chengdu Hunters, and of course, very willing to make these on-the-fly adaptations. I think they were caught off guard by what the Hangzhou Spark was running at them, but they adjusted so quickly and so cleanly off the rip here on Nepal.
And then the opposite happened where Hangzhou, I think they were just committed, right? They had already started on the comp. They were building up some ult charge. They didn't want to give up any of that. They were confident they could just find one good fight, you know, solo Shatter Gaga away, move through, that could be it, but just never really happened. You move on to future maps where, to start with, and we're getting some cool footage from Leave just headshotting Alpha Yi here. Chengdu's initial A-point attack and defenses on Paraiso were pretty good. It's the B and C that started to really let them down, so that's definitely is a map that needs a bit of work for the Chengdu Hunters. But we go over towards Junkertown, and you and I were actually looking towards map win rates, and this was a pretty rare win on Junkertown. Their map record on Junkertown was pretty poor. I can't actually remember what it is now. I actually said it, and I'll go find it in a hot second. It's
like 4 and 10 or something like that.
4 and 10. So now I think it's 5 and 10. So they typically, in the history of the franchise, lost Junkertown. And this was a pretty damn close map. I mean, when Shy was allowed to hit shots and, you know, all that was happening, Hangzhou Spark were looking fine. But, you know, once Chengdu started shutting down Shy, and that was, I think, especially the case on Colosseo, Chengdu were on a different level. What was it again? 116 to 30 or 40 meters at the end, and most of the map was 116 to like 2 meters. It was about one of the most one-sided games of Colosseo you could possibly see, where you don't actually fully finish the map, and Chengdu was even quite threatening that. One last comment about Chengdu would be, I think the kind of unsung hero for the team was Monk. He did a great job on the Ana across the board, landing in huge bio nades on Nepal, supported Jimmu well, making sure his nano timings were on point in terms of having the nano at the same time the blade was available, and that really cool shutdown play onto Neko diving on top of it, just all sorts of stuff like that. Beating Burner in the 1v1 as well as an Ana versus a Winston, just stuff like that Monk was able to do was so good today.
Yeah, I mean, he continues to look incredible. Whenever Ana is in the meta, we know that Monk is pretty much going to be able to deliver. He's one of the best ones that we have out here in the region for sure, if not in the entire league. But anyway, enough about that series. It's time to focus forward onto our next one. And like I said, maybe Format Friday could very well still be alive. The Valiant, though, they like to go to 5. So we'll see what they can manage as they get ready to go up against the runners-up of our last tournament cycle. It's going to be the Seoul Dynasty. So we'll see what happens when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Match 2 begins in just a few. right, we're back, and it's time to go into our second series of the night, last one of the night for that matter, as we dive into the Seoul Dynasty versus the LA Valiant. Now, the Valiant, they have run some very close series against teams that you wouldn't have anticipated they'd be able to run close series against in the past. Can they do it again tonight versus the Dynasty, our second-place team from our last tournament cycle? We're going to find out now.
And in one of those map 5s, they actually beat the Chengdu Hunters. So, I mean, Valiant, sometimes, you know, they can just sneak it across. They can get that win. I think they've beaten Hunters a couple times now. Their first ever win this entire season, which broke their gigantic loss record back in Kickoff Clash that you and I casted, was actually versus the Hunters as well. But, you know, they took Charge, Fusion, all to 5. They took a map up with the Spark as well. Couldn't do anything versus Seoul. In fact, their record versus Seoul is currently on an 8-match loss streak. Seoul are in the lead in that matchup 8 full games in a row. And the last time that Valiant have beaten Seoul was in 2018 May, back when Custer was still on this team. That's how long it's been since Valiant have beaten Seoul.
That's a deep cut, I suppose, but let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups, because, well, I didn't get to watch as closely as I would have liked for the last tournament cycle, but here's something that I always love to see, which is Profit out of the Brig and back into a DPS position. So he will be there alongside Fitz to start things off, and then we've got the newest member of Iris, or Iris.
Who's this?
Joining in, LR15,
New face
coming
to the
in
team?
alongside of Vendame.
Ah, yes. ZP lives on. LR15 back in the squad. There he is. We saw creative debut for Houston earlier today. And the swap also means that Eris on the other end is now going to debut for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. His new team going to be playing some brilliant flex support. We saw some great stuff from Monk on the Ana. I'm expecting equal things from Eris on the Ana as well. Vendame possibly on the Brig, maybe a bit of Lucio. Stalker on the bench for now, but I'd be very curious to see what Seoul's plan for Stalker is in this tournament stage, given that, you know, part of the reason all three were playing for the Junker Queen meta was because they were kind of still waiting for Eris to get in, and Profit had already been integrated in the Brig. They didn't want to change anything. This team is the runner-up versus the Shanghai Dragons. They started out so well in the stage, nearly flawless, but then Shanghai came out ahead. Shanghai ended up being the more dominant team, and Seoul fell by the wayside. Smurf, I think, gets a bit of a redemption arc now as well, given that he was okay at the Junker Queen, but I don't think it was ever one of his super, super strong picks. He looked like he was struggling against Void in that matchup. But Seoul, they get to play Winston again. That has been their strongest comp and play style for the entire year. I mean, you remember Kickoff Clash, Mid-Season Madness, Smurf, Winston, Profit, Tracer. That's the combo.
Yeah, I mean, Smurf, of course, is just ever since he joined the league, has basically been touted as the best Winston player in the world. Was able to overtake Gushue and whatnot in that regard, and very much kind of pick up on the legacy of
You're saying he's even better than Gesture?
Gesture did invent the Eco Leap. But yeah, I would have to say it. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting 5 for the side of the Valiant and see what they have brought before us, because we know that the player pool for this team is rather
Marvel's
large.
back.
Hey, okay, it's going to be Marvel, so we'll be seeing him alongside Easy Han, Becky, Lengza, and Molly.
Alrighty, so interesting thing about this is I don't know if Valiant will be starting out on Sombra today, because if they play Sombra, no, Hack is not in the team. Innovation will be the Sombra player. No D to start things out either. Possibly Valiant looking back towards a Tracer Genji, maybe an Echo, because it is Lijiang Tao. Echo could be played here as well. We'll see how their lineup changes as we progress through these several maps here, because I think they'll need to bring through a couple of different looks. The great thing about Marvel is he has some main tank picks and some off-tank picks as well. So we talk about the fact that you have to bring in a specialist for the Sigma. Well, Marvel's been playing Sigma his whole career, so that won't be an issue a little bit later on. We'll have to figure out how these players want to be piloting their specific heroes coming on through. I said maybe not going to be Sombra. Easy Han's got it hovered over, thinking about it.
All right. Well, as you can see right there, the stats people pulling off things that Averil's kind of already said. 8 wins in a row. And the last time they did face, it was a 3-0 victory for the side of the Dynasty. So the odds very much stacked against the Valiant. Let's see if in this new meta they can find some solid ground. Let's see if Marvel can maybe find some revenge on his team.
3 out of those 8 wins that Seoul have as a streak, 3 of them are 3-2s. Valiant,
There you
you know, they like their 3 and 2, so we'll see how far that goes. Becky is confirmed now that he will be on the Sombra. So no innovation. Fitz on the Sombra is on. That's the other thing that we didn't talk about, right? Fitz gets to play a Sombra meta. He's often been the second best Sombra after Lip, which sounds like a diss, but really is a compliment.
Very true. I mean, if anyone who's seen what Lip can get done on that hero pick knows that it's definitely not a slide at him. Already though. Good contention here from the side of the Valiant, trying to hold a point. Valiant goes out, does manage to find 2. Marvel getting taken low, takes a nap, and gets taken down. Fitz able to pursue deep enough to get that elimination. Profit around the back, just trying to make sure they can deny this health pack away from them, and he's ready for the catch there onto Easy Han, but instead, whoop, turns the sights over onto the supports. Recalls back here onto the point, and in the meantime, it's been good to clean up here from the side of the Valiant. The point has not been locked down by either team, and Profit has to make his exit, so that will be the Valiant gaining first control.
I think that might have been one of the rare mistakes from Prophet as well, because had he not been forced to recall, he would have been able to run up, find a couple of frags, and eventually recall away to safety. Solo going to have to, like you sort of mentioned there, give up any control at that point. Valiant will get the first cap, 13, 15% now and counting. Fitz barely ahead of Easy Hub, but they will have this first EMP online. Molly, however, is far and far away ahead of Iris.
Oh, there's the stick. There's Molly gone. So as you say that, Iris now given a window of opportunity to try to catch up. Langston trying to make his way out to safety. Jump up through the window. Pursuit is there. Fitz joins in the fight. They will find the kill. Him, however, in the meantime, going to be taken down. EMP instantly popped there by Fitz in response to the dive forward here onto the point. They want to be able to get this flip right here, right now. They will be able to do so.
Just a solo EMP into Marvel, but they'll confirm the kill me. That's the fastest way you're going to get that guy down. And I was like, yeah, Molly's ahead of Ares, and Prophet's like, yes, I know. And she goes in there and deals with them. So that means Valiant can play with that tool. That would have been incredible for the Valiant, by the way. A nano onto Marvel there with no response from Sol.
Okay, EMP coming through. It's going to be a solo onto Smurf as well by the looks of things, but he's got the Primal Rage popped. The cleanup is coming through. Marvel about to get yeeted off the side of the map. Instead, it's just going to be his corpse that goes flying. And he ends up falling just a couple percentage shy, so hold on the point, going to be there. Dynasty get ready to take the lead. Fitz on the hunt in the meantime.
And this is where we can set up the divers. I'm actually not too sure what happened to Molly's nano there. Did it go into Lengsa, who then dies? I'm not entirely sure. There's a bunch of stuff being played there by the Valiant that didn't eventuate to much at all. So nano to Smurf now.
Smurf going to be taking a nap. But it looks like they're not going to be able to get a punish. No one getting gathered around him to be able to find that kill. Prophet going to be taken down, however. Nice hack coming through from Easy Han. They set up for the elimination. The web shot from Lengza claiming the killing blow. Valiant in control for now. Dynasty still looking to try to flip this back into their favor, but especially with the Primal popped. Sleep does come through. They will put Marvel to bed for now. And that just allows them to safely make their exit back around towards the spawn. But Aim getting botched up there for just a little bit of a moment. Has a shield bash, takes himself out to safety. Prophet rejoins the fight. Another pulse bomb at the ready. Becky instantly just trying to latch onto him. Track him down, and actually Prophet, I believe he might have dashed straight into that Bionade. Gets clipped out midair. Great pick all the same. Fitz going low. Manages to stay alive, and the Dynasty likely going to have to wait.
I think Fitz actually got hacked in the middle of that play as well, but again, the hack only, I think 1.75 seconds, will still be able to get away. Losing Prophet was the major loss for Seoul Dynasty there, forcing to reset, and now they have players. They have the ultimates as well. They should be the ones leading this fight. Fitz going in, could be an EMP, it is, and instantly delete Lengsa.
Yeah, but at the same time, Easy Han, he manages to find Iris, and he doesn't even take it to an EMP to do so. He's got one, getting ready to come into the fight. Deep lobbing from Prophet, does manage to find Molly once more, gets that elimination. Again, just seemingly having it magnetized for the enemy Ana, but the cleanup is there from the side of the Valiant. Seoul Dynasty looking a bit disjointed. They have control of the point for now. The Primal could be popped. Smurf just trying to buy some time. But Valiant, if they get this flip, it is final fight territory here for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. They need to win this one out. The hack goes off. Dash back onto the mainland there from Easy Han. Keeps himself safe. Lengsa just turns the corner. The whip shot takes out Prophet. Iris going to be taken down as well. Making the pulse bomb. Finds Iris. Vinheim now, the solo support, trying to keep them in this fight, but now Smurf is going to fall. They have no front line. He's going to have to try to make it out, but Vinheim falls, and that should be the Valiant taking Night Market.
There's just no one alive, and Soul need to touch it. Fitz and Prophet will go for this one, but they don't really have the HP. Fitz has to instantly back out, and now Prophet has to go next. Prophet even gets a nano. It will help him survive, but the rally is online for Valiant, and Rally has more backup as well. We have also nano, we have also Primal, and Valiant have so much to work through.
Yep, there's the anti onto Smurf. He's going to get stunned up there for just a moment as well. Take it low. The healing still not finding him. Prophet again makes his way forward. Does manage to find the touch. Dynasty Can they clutch it out? Molly gonna fall. Prophet gives his life for the pick. Lengza still standing. Still the solo healer here to the side of the Valiant. Is Marvel getting focus fired and hacked out now. Heroes comes around the back.
Solo winning.
Heroes gonna be sent off the side of the map. Marvel, he stomps him out of there. Marvel, however, does end up falling. Becky, pulse bomb still in the back pocket. Easy Hunt takes his exit. EMP held at the ready just about. A lot of damage. The recall going to be used. Becky trying to stay alive. Tucks into the corner, but Smurf is there. He's ready for it. And somehow, some way, the Dynasty managed to get this flip back. But can they close the map? It's going to be EMP versus EMP.
Oh my goodness, Valiant are going to be kicking themselves for not being able to finish that fight because they had it locked down. 3 ultimates. Not going to be good enough. So EMP dropping up the 2 supports, and they don't get anything.
It backfires. It completely backfires. They thought they had the dive. Marvel was there alongside of him, but Smurf was there for the peel. Got the punch into the wall. Shut down Easy Han. Now Lengza is dead. The OT bleeding away. And the Valiant are going to be kicking themselves for an eternity over this one because they had it in hand. They had the point. They had it in overtime with 3 ults to boot. And somehow, some way, they cannot close it out.
It's a nano to Prophet that starts it out. Right, well, Fitz actually touches first, has to translocate away, then Prophet goes for the secondary touch off the back of a nano, meaning that he can't die. Very tanky Tracer. Soul come back with Smurf on a Doom, and we reset to a full 5v5. Molly ends up having to nano Lengsa instead of Marvel because Lengsa was low HP. Lengsa lives for a very long time, but we have our POV on Lengsa. He is not able to be with the team on the point. He's rotating around the back end, ends up finding himself stuck between a bunch of Soul members, dying on the outside of the point, and then Valiant have no supports. From that point onwards, Soul have everything in their pocket to be able to win that fight, and that's disregarding all the ultimates that Valiant had at the start of that. That should have been enough, but unfortunately wasn't.
Absolutely insane. You can only hope that the follow-up rounds here are going to deliver just as much action. Smurf already going to be the focus fire. Quite a lot of damage being pushed out here onto the Dynasty, but Prophet does manage to find first blood. Lengza going to be taking down somebody that was a thorn in his side there on Night Market for the longest time. Finds the kill, ends up dropping. Becky getting on top of him. Becky finding a second now as Ears will also be taken out of the fight. This is the cost of Marvel, however. The point unlocked. The Dynasty are looking to go ahead and effectively backcap this right now while the Valiant are distracted. They will go ahead, lock this down first and foremost with the Valiant close by.
Valiant are slowing down kills, so they need more. Molly's got another barrage of Bionade. So far hasn't ended up with kills. Becky was one that got both the kills of the Bionades last time, and now Soul Dynasty slowly healing back up. Soul Dynasty are still in this.
Oh, the pulse bomb going through. Smurf effectively dodges that one. Just cheating around the pillar, keeps himself safe for now, but with a sliver of HP, Becky is able to pursue forward. Finds the elimination all the same. Still in control of the point, however, are the Dynasty. They're still fighting back. Pulse bomb goes in. Becky again has Prophet's number. Just drills him with the pulse pistols, finds the elimination. Now Iris under fire as well, just trying to hold on the bridge. Pulls his way back, still falling low, drops that Bionade, keeps himself alive into the fight. In the meantime, there's just a little bit of delay going through. Smurf has that
no cap
popped over by the point, and the cap has not come through. They slept him for a moment, they woke him up. Takes the sleep out to safety. Maybe there's a moment here for the side of the Valley to be able to finally lock this one down, but no, Vinheim, he pulls the trigger, he drops the beat, shields up 3 players. EMP in response, Easy Han only able to get Prophet. The kill is not coming through off the back of it. It's effectively a map. Smurf, however, still going to end up falling as Becky is fragging out of his mind right now on this map.
That was probably the longest fight in the world as well, Kalius. And while that was happening, Soul was capturing the entire way through. I don't know about you, but it felt like Soul were kind of slowly losing that fight, or had lost that fight for the entire way through, but they never let go of the point. They were clutching their way through. Easyhan's EMP even kind of whiffs. It's only on Prophet, like I said, but no kill. And finally, LA have this cap. Are they going to be able to stop Soul Dynasty from rotating through this? Soul Dynasty want to go to white. They're taking a lot of damage. They even ate a pulse bomb there, but they seem to be safe. We're waiting for Fitz to set up this EMP now. Needs to find the back line.
They kept the Iris alive. Molly, the dive target, and it's effective, but it's traded. Becky, again, continues to find value. Comes up with an elimination. Iris out of the fight. Nano was used by his side. Molly going to be having it in the follow-up fight here. If the Valiant can win this one out, it's going to be a very big boon for them. The jump is available there from Smurf at the very last second to say safe, but he's got nowhere to go. Ends up dying. The Nano now going to be invested. Marvel looking for a target. Really effectively only Fitz, who will be able to make his exit. The Valiant, they hold firm.
Looks like it's enough. Yeah, it's a rare moment where you see a Winston juggling another Winston. There it is, and we'll even allow Easy Hun to pick up that kill as well, allowing Easy Hun to get a little bit closer towards the next EMP. Valiant at this stage have caught up. We're above 65 now for Valiant versus the 60 from Salt, which is very important. So another close round. One where Valiant's ahead, but would not want to lose that lead once more.
It's going to be
Bit of
another
pressure on
EMP as
defensive
well from
Smurf,
Easy
but they're
Hunt.
okay. Yeah.
Pulse bomb at the ready. Profits goes wide. Slaps it there on the side of the banister.
Backline
EMP
down.
going to be invested. Vinheim dead. Smurf. The follow-up hack is there. They managed to find him. This is going to a third round by all accounts.
Wow, what's this? Wow, where is this coordination from Valiant coming from? This is like
I don't know.
seeming like a market improvement, and they've just lost their head coach as well. This is actually kind of crazy. But can they finish this one off? There's going to be another touch coming on in. Vinheim emptied out, but alive for now. Soul searching for that next EMP or any ultimate coming alive. Primal so close for Smurf.
If they can do it twice in a row, it would be catastrophic to imagine to Valiant's mental. Right now they're playing so damn well. Primal at the ready. Smurf is going to be limit testing for now, seeing how low he can go before he's got to let this one loose. Now goes ahead, goes for the sleep dart, instantly greets somebody, instantly woken up. He dives into the back. He's just looking to isolate and kill off Molly. Knocks him into the backside. That Mega Pack is there to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but eventually the kill does come through. They still need more, however. The support's out of the fight. Flip getting ready to be there for the side of the Dynasty, but they're only starting at 60%, so the Valiant still have a fight to try to retake this.
While Molly was being taken down and solo by Smurf's Primal, Lengsa goes down as well to the rest of the Seoul Dynasty, so no Smurf, no EMP, no Fitz rather, no EMP. The rest of the 4 members from Seoul, 1 onto Molly, 3 on the point, clutch it through and heading to a double 99. 2 back-to-back 99s.
Okay.
Fitz has found Translocator. Should be signaling to the team to find Easy Hunt if they can.
Somebody call.
Nah, he'll just destroy it.
Easy Hunt's okay.
Try to deny any exit from him. He makes his presence known now. Just lobbing it over into White Room, and actually spy checks Fitz on the way back over to the point. The flip getting ready to be there. Halfway to it. EMP now going to get let loose. Becky instantly evaporates. Marvel, he's going to receive it. Pops the Primal as well to go alongside of it, but now they're down their DPS. Becky has been instrumental for them. Marvel finding one, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and somehow, some way, the Dynasty have actually managed it again. They win out that initial fight, take it to 60%, just tiptoeing in and out time and time again, but again, if Becky finds one as he falls. Seems like that should be the hopes dwindling here. Yeah, the closeout will be there, and the Valiant will be able to take this first map, but good lord, what a fight put up from the side of the LA Valiant, making this an incredible effort, but they're unable to win a single round, so it's a 2-0 on Lijiang.
I mean, it's incredible is what it is. It's very impressive from the LA Valiant. But there's just a clutch factor towards the end there where Seoul Dynasty refused to lose, and Valiant cannot seem to keep Seoul within their grasp. But you're kind of going fishing with your hands here, and just when you think you caught it, Seoul will slip away. Seoul Dynasty, though, you got to say, I mean, all the right kind of plays towards the end they're lining up, all the right kind of ultimates coming online as well. Becky slowing down his frags. Becky as well had 16 final blows, which if you look at Profit and Fitz combined, they only combined for 18. So Becky himself, one player, was 2 behind the Profits duo, which is such a ridiculous statement to make. LA Valiant have both times now accrued somewhat of a lead. Seoul Dynasty's opening 60% was a little criminal though, and that to me does also set the stage for how Gardens went. The fact that Seoul can clutch through, because they already had a 60% they had to work with before, they could have worked with from earlier, they are able to clean up the rest of the 40% and put the Valiant to bed. So it's a back-to-back 99. Bit of a tragedy for the LA Valiant, and for Seoul, I think it's an expected win.
And unfortunately, I've been in this territory before, specifically with the Valiant, where I say if that's an indication of how the rest of this series is going to go, then I am on board, and then things have started to slip from there. However, the comms right now, the cohesion from the Valiant is looking like it's on a completely different level from what we've been seeing this whole season long. So I am excited to see how they bounce back, how they look to take the next map as we get ready to move into Eichenwald. And if they can get that done, give us a series that will be utterly fantastic. So we'll see if they can do it, or if the Dynasty are going to move up 2-0. Look for yet another 3-0 closeout over the Valiant when we come back from the break. And we're back. An exciting map one. If you guys blinked, you wouldn't have missed it because it was actually really long. We had back-to-back 99, so never mind on that one. But an incredible incredible start here to this series as the Valiant narrowly were able to lose the first map versus the Dynasty, but it looked for so long like they were going to be able to win it. But two incredible clutches on two different rounds. The Dynasty were able to take Lijiang Tower. Now we turn our sights over to Eichenwald for Hybrid to see if the Valiant can bounce back.
And LA Valiant going to be trying to do that off the back of Sashin now as well for the hybrid mech of Eichenwald. The jury's on what that means. I think D.Va is probably the play, if I'm going to be honest with you. We are now seeing more and more teams move towards the D.Va for Eichenwald. We actually saw Shock do that even mid-season madness with Kaluj. That would be my first and foremost guess. But I got to say, the really impressive thing about the Valiant so far is the ability to coordinate dives between Becky, Marvel, EasyHunt, and the rest was so beautiful to watch, especially on Gardens. Becky, in particular, was the only player across the board against all other players in the lobby who had 5 digits on hero damage done. Very aesthetically pleasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 amount of damage. That's 12,347. So not quite 12,345, which would have been perfect, but still the only player in 5 figures. Everybody else was on like 8-point-something K or below, or 9-point-something K or below. So very, very cool from Becky. I feel like we haven't seen that level of carry performance from him so far this season.
Yeah, that was... he's had his moments for sure. And we know that Becky is a very good player, but God damn, he was just incredible on that first map. So, like I said, I'm hoping that this will hold up and that we can continue. But we'll have to just wait and see.
I mean, the guy gapped Prophet by 4k damage and gapped Fitz by 5k damage. That really says everything. That should not ever happen. I don't think anyone would expect that Becky would be able to do that. But can he continue? And what else are we going to see on this particular map now as we head into, again, Eichenwald, Sash and Zarya? So, I mean, I said D.Va, but I think D.Va is probably more appropriate for B. I think the Zarya does work on A and C in particular is probably where you want to see it. Smurf should probably just be on the Winston again. So the Smurf, Winston, Prophet Tracer dive still a little bit too strong to ignore. Valiant got to play EasyHunt on the Sojourn. So Sombra is going to be taking a bit of a break for now, at least from EasyHunt's POV. Fitz is going to stay.
All right. Initial very aggressive dive in from Becky, just seeing what damage she can find. There's the pop shot from Prophet. Let's get some information, hope for a stray pick. Not going to get one. We'll just swap back over to the Tracer now.
A lot of this will come down to Fitz's setup, so we'll have to see where he is. Fitz is going to see the silhouettes all the way in the back line. He is looking for supports. He's actually got eyes on EasyHunt. He's hacked out EasyHunt, and that's the first play dead.
Okay, well, there you go. The kill's going to be found. Fitz under a little bit of fire, but he's got the Translocator out, got the Mega Pack, and he's well into the back lines now, so can also come in from an unexpected angle. As they now turn their sights over to Sassen. One of the bubbles now going to be popped. The ante goes into the back end. Seemingly doesn't have the second bubble to try to cleanse it off.
Oh, Sassen lived.
Narrowly managed to stay alive, but they are pushed well enough back inside of the inn here. And it's already 2.5 ticks and some change there. Added to the point here for the Son of the Soul Dynasty, who are just a few seconds away from being able to get this cap. Prophet finding some much-needed vengeance. Strikes down Becky. There's the pickup. It's going to be 5 minutes and 20 seconds now in the time bank as EasyHunt will fall. EasyHunt came back as a Reaper. He's going to swap that one again.
I think he might stay on the Reaper. I respect the Reaper pick because it plays well to Smurf and the overall dive. Probably not as well. Obviously, it's one of those classic, not quite counters, but one of those, well, I was going to speaking towards the Sombra here. Not a Sombra counter, but something that can survive against EMPs and hacks quite well. So they're going to stay on that. The only thing that they're missing is the Lucio. You want the Lucio to speed both EasyHunt's Reaper sessions. Zarya in, but Lynx is 78% towards the rally, so you're not going to be changing off that anytime soon. Soul, though, very much in control. Nearly 5 ultimates on board. Nearly spy check there. Fitz is going to have to reset up for that high ground dive in the EMP. So once Fitz is in position with the EMP, you need to see Smurf get in position for the dive as well. Becky lobs a pulse.
Prophet's already there. EMP goes out, catches both the support. Sasha somehow actually able to avoid that one pulse bomb. It's going to be lobbed down onto the ground. Molly will eventually fall, so they do find a kill off the back of that one. His dying breath threw out the nano onto Sasha, but Sasha was retreating, so doesn't manage to really find any value from it.
Now we're diving again. Another hack set up. Did he get the hack? He might have missed the hack, but in any case, the damage was there.
Stays alive. Don't find a follow-up pick, but just can continue to zone the Valiant back across the opposite side of the bridge. Primal at the ready. The rally is well ready to roll. The grab here from Sasha needs to be big, and they need to find the follow-up damage. The Reaper can be good for that. Grab goes out.
Gets Prophet as well.
Smurf. Yep, the anti is there. Prophet, the first one to fall. And even with that Primal pop, Smurf gets absolutely assassinated. Great focus firing there from the side of the Valiant. And now they will just go ahead and look to shove back the Dynasty, find as many stagger kills they possibly can, with Molly cleaning up the last two.
I'm going to say as well, Molly was the primary reason why Smurf got burned even through the Primal, because he waited out for the bubble. Once that was gone, he landed at Bionated. Becky will also find another kill in the extremity on top of Fitz just to slow down Assault Dynasty even further. It's
swapping it up.
Great. It's a good stagger, but also just a brilliant team fight win, because I think Sashin wasn't expecting to get more than one in the grab. The fact that Prophet entered the grab, just I think on the very edge of the range, that's huge for the Valiant, because it's a 2-for-1 that is a bonus for them.
Becky just keeping tabs here on Prophet. It's out for blood.
Should be Death Blossom play here. Death Blossom plus Bubble. And Easyhan would love to set up on high ground. Trying to figure out where he is. Okay, he has been spotted, but he's on the bridge as well.
Zone back for now. Holds at the ready. The pulse bomb from Becky as well. Could be a big opener. Prophet holds another one. Can he get the stick this time?
High ground if he wants to.
We'll have to just wait and see. So at some point, they're going to have to try to contest this one into the back line. There's the stick. Easyhan taking out the Death Blossom. Not going to be seen in this fight. Apparently not. He ends up falling. The EMP's still going to be committed to this one just to make sure they can finish this cap here onto B. Still 3 meters left to go. Sashin throwing out that right click at point blank range and ends up offing himself, and there's the cap.
That's a disappointing line of events for the LA Valley. They should not have been second to that fight. I mean, they had the initial setup. Cool kill onto Fitz now, but the fight you needed to win was the previous one where you got to get this Death Blossom underway. And it seemed like Easyhan was taking a bit of damage on the bridge. They were just slow to set up where the Death Blossom was going to play from. And eventually Soul the ones actually dive in, and somehow Easyhan dies to a pulse. No rate
no bubble,
a Reaper
no
should really never really... Yeah, you have so many ways to not die to a pulse. That's crazy to me.
Well, it happened. Anti out on him as well. There's the shift. Drops down, just trying to stay alive. Heals being pumped here over towards him. Continues to just hold the staircase, keeping this cart locked into position for now. Dives in, goes into the back line. Blossom, however, not going to find too much value. Takes them low, but the follow-up just is not there. And it looks a bit more uncoordinated compared to what we just saw from the Valiant in the first map.
They're desperate. They're very desperate to get a Death Blossom off, and Soul no one. So as soon as the TP comes in, Soul already backing out. Vindame speeds the team out, no one dies to the Death Blossom. So perfect counterplay there. And now Prophet's diving in the back. Look at Soul, they're on 5 ults in. EMP into 5 ults, and they can cap from here.
Yep, there's the rally rolling. Prophet would love to get that pulse bomb stick there onto legs. That grab now going to be used. Does manage to find Smurf. The beat's going to be dropped in. Prophet finds Easyhan. They take him out and sleep onto Becky as well as the pulse on Molly. And the cleanup comes through. The cart now rounding the final corner. Lang's the only one standing, just waiting for his comrades to rejoin him so they can have a last-second Hail Mary attempt to lock this cart into position, but somebody's got to get the touch. It is there. Easyhan getting it for just a brief little moment. Becky now joining in, but Vinheim chases forward. There's an anti out onto 2 members of the pulse bomb there from Becky. Does not find a stick, does not find a kill. Sashin rejoins, nanoed up now on the Diva. Just trying to hold the front line down. Smurf falling low, has to make his exit, jumps out into the back, but Sashin pursues forward. Easyhan swapped over onto the Ash as well. Does manage to find that kill, plus gets Vinheim to boot. And the Reaper be damned, the Ash now starting to find an immense amount of value here from the side of the Valley. They will, in fact, be able to hold this off.
Well, that's 4v5 as well, by the way. That was, who was it? Easyhan dying straight away, comes back on an Ash, already on 53% after dying really late. And the LA Valley was Sashin fresh on a Diva on 60 as well. Like, what a defense from the LA Valley on low numbers as well. Fitz just trying. I don't think Fitz was trying to achieve too much there, except for just go for ult charge. So probably didn't need to die, but he was very committed just to do max damage for an ult charge. They want to finish this off with an EMP at this stage. Soul know they're gonna have to play for OT. They're not getting any time bank on this point anymore. They're gonna go for the OT 0-second play with all ults back on the line again. Smurf fresh on his Rosaria. Sashin also moving back onto the Zarya as well.
Vinheim just getting clipped by that. Pulse bomb there from Becky. See how he fares this time around as Prophet threatens the back line. Shows face for just a moment, then makes his exit. Fitz under fire. Does manage to stay alive. Got himself out.
Can they wait
Still
for Fitz?
21% away from that EMP.
Because the problem
Prophet.
is, Eris is on Nano. So can they actually wait for Fitz, or do they just go with Nano?
They might just have to pull the trigger on this one. 25 seconds remaining. Hack is there. They're looking for Becky. Manages to get the recall off. And him almost falls. He himself nearly has that ult ready to go. Easy Hunt going to be taken down. The Bob just around the corner. He's going to be holding the cart in place for them for now. Sasha having swapped back over onto the Zarya. Just trying to be a real threat. EMP comes through, gets the hack onto Sasha. They take him down. Easy Hunt now.
There's a beat as well.
Desperate swap goes for the Widowmaker. Needs to start clicking some heads. And he gets one already. Takes out Prophet. Does he have more? Smurf picking it up there on the floor. The sound barrier comes in. There's just not much more that a Widowmaker can do in this position. The touch needs to be there. It's Becky. He goes down to a sliver of HP. Recalls out to safety. 0.65 meters left to go.
Smurf's grab.
With the grab, nearly ready to roll. He lets it loose. Gets the lockdown there on Sasha. They try to heal him up, but it's just not going to be enough. Vinham finds the kill. Langza and Becky ducking and diving around the cart. They keep this thing contested for now. The focus fire just not quite there. It's just not good enough to find the Olymps, but as I say, that fits. We'll finally get the finishing blow there onto the enemy Brigida. Now Molly and Easy Han both dead. The cap comes in, and it is an OT as you say, but damn, did the Dynasty have to work for this final point?
I think you can just repeat that same line of commentary for all of our opening league jung as well. Maybe just repeat that line of commentary for the rest of the series, because I think that's just going to be how it is. Seoul might legitimately win 3-0 today while being pushed to the brink. Like the literal brink. You'll see a 3-0 on the scoreline. All the people at NA will wake up and be like, yeah, it's just a simple Seoul 3-0 win versus Valiant, without realizing how much of a sweat fest that was for Seoul. And right now, that final attack, that was maximum effort from Seoul. Legitimately being pushed to the brink with a 4v5 clutch from the Valiant. What is even going on there? But Seoul, they know they have time to play through. They know they have one more round of ultimates to still get. Fitz desperate to find that EMP. Seoul even trusting that they'll get the EMP within a firm amount of time. Just play the Nano first. Like I said, do they even really have time to wait for the EMP? No. 30 seconds remaining. I think it was even 25. Walk forward. Smurf received Nano. Start getting some work done. Fitz will find the EMP in the middle of the fight. He does, and then the rest of ults start flowing through as well, including the sound barrier. Just have to be a little bit patient for the Bob. I actually wouldn't have minded if they played aggressively versus the Bob and slept the Bob and hacked the Bob, which all removes the Bob from play. But they wanted to be patient there, just regroup a little bit, then walk forward, use sound barrier and win for the LA Valiant. Lack the damage towards the end to get too much more done. Easy on the Cassidy, it's not going to be enough damage, sadly.
It's just some minor mistakes, it feels like, for being made by the Valiant. They're making things a little bit more difficult for themselves than it needs to be. And if they shore up those weaknesses, those mistakes that are happening, perhaps they could actually be walking away with the wins on Lijiang Tower, with a win here, a successful hold on point B.
Well, that's the one I was going to say, actually. I think they got more than they bargained for C. They probably shouldn't have been able to win that 4v5. But the fight that really cost them was the one defending B with the Reaper Death Blossom that never happened. I mean, there's just so much deliberation and brainstorming of like, what are we meant to do here? And they just never did anything with it. That was
there's also the follow-up. There's also the follow-up where Easy Han says, okay, I'm going to go Death Blossom. There's no follow-up, and then 2 seconds after he dies, Sasha has a grab. And they could have just coupled them together. So just a couple just minor mistakes that could have led to a much different result here for the Valiant. We'll see how they fare, though, on the attack. There's already a minute about to be gone. Sasha trying to build up his energy. He does so very quickly. Now at 90. The bubble just keeping him protected for now. Pulse Bomb already built up, used by Becky, but doesn't find anything. Sasha burns the second bubble, just trying to keep himself alive. The anti greets him on the back end of it. Vinham finds the kill. Prophet lobs in the pulse, not going to get anything. Turns his sights over to Easy Han, who does end up falling to Smurf's hand. The first volley, the first wave will be shut down, so the Dynasty holds firm.
I don't even know when, again, I don't know when Molly's Nano went. I don't know if it's just the new UI thing that looks a bit whack, but maybe it went to Sash and Sash just instantly died. I don't know if it's questionable. It's just, it's hard to, without the blue flashing health bar, I have no idea where that Nano went, but in either case, it's just gone. Molly burned the Nano somewhere, nowhere to be found. Now it's Eris' turn on the next approach, and a lot more ultimates for Seoul Dynasty about to come online, so this defense is now really underway in the LA Valiant. Desperate to find something of their own. Could be Pulse and Grab combo together. Those are about to come online at the same time.
It's going so very low, but Smurf says, okay, let me just go ahead and split the team apart, draw some attention to myself, dives forward, gets the Nano, holds on to the Primal in case he needs a bailout. Becky threatening the point in the meantime. Pulse Bomb again at the ready. Just continues to lap Prophet in that regard. He's finding an immense amount of value, immense amount of damage. Grab at the ready.
Molly.
Sasha falling low. Molly so low as well. And Easy Han going to falls. They're still going to commit the ult to the fight. However, the grab goes in. Vinheim stuck in the corner, but there's just no one there to follow up. Sasha just getting way too trigger happy. Lets it loose, and that is one of their biggest engage tools gone.
I mean, it's just one of those kind of martyrdom moments where Sasha's going to drop something in as he dies, hoping that his team can capitalize on it. And Vinheim holds up his shield and smiles as he waits for the grab to go away, and he lives in Seoul Dynasty, happy to continue holding forward. So 110 left. Valiant at risk of being full held here. Molly gets a brilliant kill though, so it's a 5v4. Let's see what happens. Possibility.
Winnable position here. Smurf under an immense amount of power.
Molly with 2.
Immense amount of threat, and yeah, Molly comes up with yet another one. Vinheim going to be taken out of the fight. Smurf top back up and out with Iris dead. That should be the cap coming in. Smurf just making his exit. He knows that this one's done and dusted.
Wow. Can't believe that Molly ended up being the player to get it done there, but the double kill for Molly.
After we were criticizing his nanos.
Onto well, I thought his nano... Again, I don't know where his nanos are going, so it's hard for me to really speak on it. It's all just flashing away a bit too quickly, but here we go. We'll take a look at Molly now. Here's another
After
nano
I was
available.
criticizing. I won't slander you.
I was more so just confused, and there we go. Prophet's not feeling happy about Molly, so she's taking him out.
Yeah. He gets the kill.
It's another one of those,
Becky.
hey, Molly's a problem. Prophet's like, yes, I know.
Yep, yet again. Well, Iris as well, a bit of an issue that Easy Han has dealt with. And he gets Vinheim as well. 2 rails, 2 supports dead. Easy Han is having a whale of a time.
This is how you catch up. I mean, LA are behind significantly from losing so much of that time bank on A, and they need a really good B now to finish the map. And look, obviously a Valiant finish, they're not going to have anything in time bank either. That's not the hope. They're hoping to just get anything at all.
Okay. Fitz, taken down by Easy Han, but the sleep is there. Here's getting some revenge, has a little bit of backup. It's both supports trying to deal with him, but actually somehow Easy Han makes it out with his life intact. It's a little bit of HP, but still standing. Gets healed up, rejoins the fight.
So sick. I remember Iris doing that. Week 1, Houston versus Dallas. Creative had a lot of those plays as well, but in either case, 2 great Arna teams on their new homes, finding value. Seoul Dynasty sitting on 3, nearly 5 ultimates, 2 more coming online in a hot second. Payload distance is very far into the stage, but slipped. And
yeah. And the rest of the team just shifted away. They knew that he was a goner. They tried to take the fight elsewhere. Try to go ahead and get on top of these supports. The Primal does come in. Yeah, onto the Pulse Bomb. Prophet not going to be able to find any value there. Smurf does find lanes, however, and that certainly gums up the works for the side of the Valiants to try to continue this push. Another sleep coming through, this time from Iris. Does find Sashin. Shutting down the mech. Smurf, however, still does fall. It's not enough to bail him out.
Molly's had some great sleep so far, man. He's getting kills. He's sleeping Fitz. He's sleeping Smurf. Both of those end up in kills. I mean, this guy's really doing some real work at the moment. Vinheim under pressure. He's out of position as well.
Oh, God. Fitz is so far forward with this overclock. He's on the low ground. And he just gets torn to shreds.
Vinheim's still a 90. He's still trying to catch up to this team. He's just going to have to take a fall.
Yeah,
that's the problem, right? He pops Rally solo, but he's in the middle of nowhere. So Valiant, like, instead of chasing him, we're just going to leave him be. Leave Vinheim be, and Vinheim's rally does not help us. It was literally a solo rally. And then Soul get cleaned up 4v5.
Well, certainly some question marks here as Prophet is just dead off the rip once more. Easy Hunt coming up big now. The overclock about to be at the ready. Bomb into the back line. Shield is raised. Vinheim blocks that for the rest of the squad as they tuck around the corner. But Smurf, in the meantime, left out the dry, and he is not going to be allowed to escape. Easy Hunt with the rail. Tags him. Gets that kill. Now Ira's going to be dead, and the Valiant are just storming their way to the castle. A minute and a half, but it's looking like they should be able to finish this one with time in the bank.
With a Pulse Bomb as well, this could get deadly. I mean, Beckinger's Pulse out of spawn. Soul more than likely going to have to eat that. Sashin's starting to do some real work on this D.Va as well, just putting the pain on. Really ruining Iris' gameplay. Looking for that next nano, which will be online soon. Soul still have ultimates to play through. If Smurf can find this Primal, it would be really good. Prophet on 1 HP, but lives.
Okay, Pulse not going to connect. Rally rolling it off screen now. Langs up, just trying to keep everybody alive. Another Pulse eat. Sashin comes up with the second one.
Nah, he got it.
Cannot find Valiant. Oh, okay.
Prophet got the kill.
Yep, just UI thing. Never mind. It's all good.
Just
it happens
just
sometimes.
Overwatch beta, you know how it is.
Yep, just going to be broken out of the mech. Easy Honda's managed to find one. I was going to say, Sashin, you are a god. Shades of Fury being shown, but does still get that elimination all the same. And they will finally stop this cart 0.91 meters away. The good news here for the side of the Dynasty is that no matter what,
God.
they will have time if this goes to extra innings. But now they are playing for the win. They've got 3 ults to boot.
I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to get to 66.82, which is like less than 1 meter away from cap. That's going to be it. Soul finished the whole, because they have 3 ultimates, by the way. And then for Valiant, it'll once again be, wow, they were so close, literally less than a meter away.
Yeah, it could be. This EMP could certainly turn the tides.
I mean, it's Primal and Nano. The staying power for Smurf. You got to get a full wave of respawns off Nano and Primal alone.
Oh boy. Well, that might just be the nail in the coffin right there. 2 quick kills. Becky recalled. Needs to do some serious work. Sasha going to be hacked out for the moment. Self-destruct nearly available.
Now that one was
is a need. He's got another one. The self-destruct going to be burned. Drop down off the high ground. Prophet dodges the explosion, and the hold is there. 66.82. Like you said, less than a meter away. The Valiant just unfortunately cannot close it out. They cannot take this to overtime. It was a fantastic push initially through the castle. They had a decent amount of time to work with. They were storming their way in. They got all the way up to 0.96 meters away, and then it couldn't go any further.
This team is the literal definition of so close yet so far away. And the problem is, the reason why it's heartbreaking, and again, there's something you and I already spoke about, but we know, everyone knows, that the LA Valiant from 2021 would never come close to any team doing this, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that the new LA Valiant in 2022, with all the problems that they had with No Hill departing this stage as well, they can still play Seoul Dynasty, one of the top teams in the region, this close, is phenomenal. Yeah. But it's not enough to get a win so far.
No, it's not. Well, Route 66 is coming up next. If the Valiant want to put a win on the board, they have to do it right there. But even if it does not happen, this is one of those things. Tell your friends when they wake up and they say, oh, you know, I didn't want to watch the games last night, you know, whatever. Dynasty versus Valiant, I saw they 3-0'd them. No, it's not what happened. It's one of those score lines that right now is not telling the story of this series, because the Valiant are playing incredibly well at times. It's just these minor mistakes, these crazy clutches from the Dynasty that are stopping them from being able to get across the line, to be able to put those map wins on the board. We'll see if they can right the ship, fix things up as we get ready to go into Route 66, or if it will just be that 3-0 closeout here from the Dynasty. Either way, I'm not expecting it to be an easy time. We'll see what happens, though, when we come back for the break, so don't go anywhere. 2-0 lead for the side of the Dynasty, but not one that we would have anticipated. The Valiant are fighting tooth and nail to try to get themselves a map win. So far, it just hasn't worked out. The question is, Route 66, can that be the difference maker? I have no idea, because this is not what I expected.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to go to...
Go ahead.
Actually, you know what? The scoreline's going to be 4-3. We're actually going to go fully in the time. Both teams are going to cap out, which probably isn't possible, but I'm just going to go as wacky as possible. And then,
okay.
And then
I thought you meant 4-3
Valiant...
in the series score.
Oh no,
So
yeah, 4.
we're playing a best of 7
We're gonna
now.
we're gonna get a bunch of draws in here and get to 4-3 correct. No, 4-3
right.
on Route 66, and then on the final push, Valiant's about to cap and win the map, and then for whatever reason, Youngjin steps off the payload and they lose.
Oh, poor Youngjin. He's still that one will forever haunt.
You weren't here, but we had an ultra egregious C9 from Guangzhou Charge, I think versus Philly on Midtown, where both Jimmy and Choi Si-won just stepped off the payload in overtime together at the same time they double Youngjin, and they just both stepped off and it was over. And I'm just there like, oh, whoops, they C9, like, okay. Just both stepped off.
Well,
no reason.
Good thing I wasn't.
Fusion wasn't even like pressure. Nothing. That is just two fellas, both stepping into the abyss together, holding hands. That was it.
Two bros leaving the cart together. Well, it happens. I'm glad I wasn't there, or else I
find you a bro
would need
to step off the payload with you.
Get my retinas removed, but here we go. The attack. Valiant electing to go on the assault first, and they did look pretty damn good on that attack for a good little while there on Icon Vault, so maybe they can recreate a little bit of that magic and then close it out. Smurf getting tagged low, pulls back around the big Earl sign for now. Self-safe. Just be a bit of an ult battery here for Iris, who is, doubling right now what Molly's got.
So, the Zarya is interesting because you will have a lot of trouble attacking big Earls, and Smurf will just do his best job of jumping up and down from that. I think the goal for the Valiant is to try to shove this payload forward and kind of force the Seoul Dynasty down towards you so you can fight them properly on the ground. And Smurf can eat a whole bio and just doesn't care because no one can really push him.
Yeah. Just looks to go ahead, hold this high ground. Lings a low. Anti on a Sashin only. He cleanses that one off with a bubble. Nothing too threatening yet. Becky and Prophet just trying to go toe-to-toe, but Becky's going to be first on the pulse. Yeah, has it, instantly lets it loose. Not going to find any kills, though. So no opening to be found. Prophet now. His at the ready. Could be the difference maker. Throws it. Nothing. No damage even found. Not a lick of it.
Now it's Nanos. Smurf gets the first one. Molly trying to respond, but 10% off.
That he is.
Good sleep at least.
Taking a nap. Molly going to be taken down, so Nano just going to have to be held here for the next fight. Smurf continuing to try to pressure out, just diving around the sides of the barrier here. Plays around the grenade, finds Easy Hunt. And that will be the initial shutdowns. They get close, but no cigar, and it's going to be half the time out of the time bank now.
Hey, Prophet, Molly's about to get Nano. You need to shut him down. Yes, I know. Does it again.
Yep.
3 out of 3 maps now.
Well, we'll see if he can stop the Nano again.
Primal time as well, and then it's Sash and Grab. So, Grab Pulse is about to be online. Becky's building up these pulses pretty damn quick. Actually, Becky's built it way quicker than Prophet. Look at that difference.
That's a shot. Nice one from Fitz. Becky popping the recall.
That's actually a very well-timed kill by Fitz as well, because it ruins the tempo of LA Valiant. LA are about to push in with ultimates, and then that shot comes through.
A huge change in the pace, but all the same, 5 ults about to be online here for the side of the Valiant, 4 for the Dynasty.
Again!
Becky dead, Fitz does it again.
Going somewhere?
Incredible shutdowns here from Fitz.
Nano boost is charging.
Can you do it 3 for 3?
If it fits, LA Valiant sits.
In their grave.
Yep. Sit down, as Carpe would used to say. Alright, 5 ultimates for Valiant now. This is taking a long time for Valiant to get anything done, but Fitz has been a bit of a problem. Nano clock.
I mean, it's been a whole minute of trying to reset.
Oh my god!
Fitz. He gets Molly off the rip. Easy Hunt, however, with his own overclock, will get Fitz. Prophet finding one back. Pulse Bomb not going to get a follow-up kill. Down low. Smurf pops the Primal. Prophet out of the fight now. It's Smurf all on his lonesome. Fitz trying to rejoin. He's looking for this elimination. Will be able to get Easy Han. Cart inching forward, grabs that mini pack. Looks to go back over and try to keep this contest going, perhaps. Couple meters left to go. There's the jump forward. The bubble comes down to keep himself protected as much as possible. Pulse bomb out from Becky, just trying to finish the job. Langza will already have the kill. 2 meters left to go. They're pushing forward. The contest comes in once more. It's just the Dynasty throwing bodies right now at this cart, trying to keep it locked in place. Fitz going to be able to find one. Langza gone. Pressure being applied.
God, the healing is so good.
Trying to flush them out, but it's not going to be enough. Fitz slept, however. That will waste out the Nano as they look for this kill. They wake him back up. The cart inches forward. Yeah, they will be able to close this one out. It's not going to be a full hold, but it's not going to be a pretty time bank either. 2.5 minutes. They need to storm through this second point.
But that was nearly a clutch from Seoul Dynasty on the final push, on the final defense as well. Considering that Fitz was kind of in this 1v1 versus Sash, you see the damage Sash is putting out there, but Fitz is being heavily pocketed by Ares, who just continually doesn't miss a shot, keep Fitz alive, then distributes the Nano onto him.
And Smurf's dead.
Well, that's actually
great tag damage. Smurf tries to get out. Becky's good for the chase.
It's going to cost Seoul Dynasty quite a bit of time there on the defense to try and get regrouped together. LA Valiant will enjoy the free push for now as Easy Han moves towards finding this overclock. Fitz is looking for that shot again, nearly got it actually.
Fitz is kind of ignoring the damage coming in from behind.
Right,
Stay safe, but doesn't get too much done. Yeah, overclock at the ready. Easy Han down to a sliver, stays alive. Prophet pulse bomb about to be up. Can this one
Nano's
find
there as well.
A target? There's the overclock.
Nano.
Nancy goes out to the Easy Han. Nate goes down, however. This man's still to find Ares, and he's still going to be alive. Jumps up over the top. The headshot is great. Finds Fitz, and I said they needed the storm to the second point, and they are doing just that. About a minute lost, and they are nearly capping now.
The Bionade
like we are not done.
Seemed like Easy Han maybe would have been, forced off because of the Bionade, but yeah, he was fine. Drops in the nade, as you say, disrupt the field, and that is able to, I think that gets buffed by the Nano as well, right? So just the damage output of it is enough to take down Ares, and well, the rail's as good as ever with the Nano in tow. So we actually have a cap. This is really good distance from Valiant. They still have a reasonable amount of time left for cap as well.
Yeah. Big Bang combo back on the menu as well. Becky just 6% shy. Sashin can find 1-2 targets. And it's going to be an immense amount of value here for the Valiant. Really break open the final stretch as we go into the garage.
Has to be Grab and Bionade as well, so they have to kind of play around Smurf's one bubble here.
Sure.
With Nano coming online, Rally and Primal, Smurf being the primary target of that grab, I don't think anyone's really going to die in the grab with that.
There it is. Okay, go for Smurf. The Nano comes out in response. Fitz already going to be taken down, however, but the grab is not going to be enough to lead to Smurf's demise. Primal now going to be popped as the anti-connects onto him. 100 energy, though, for Sasha. Still very much a threat in the fight. Smurf knows that. He's trying to make his way out to safety. Plays up here onto the high ground, leaps over to the side. The bubble coming down, trying to break line of sight. He will be able to stay alive, so really great movement here from Smurf. It's now the overclock from Fitz. Just layering him in, and Prophet, well, he's been missing a lot of the pulse bombs here today, but it's a 2-for-1 special when he needs it the most. Molly and Easy Han both could be taken down. Fitz finds some value as well, but that's everything just about thrown at this, so it's going to be a rally versus a Nano.
Yeah, it's also, by the way, Smurf living and just being able to help the team in another dive supporting Prophet and Fitz. It's just sort of a case where, like, as I say, the grab will come through, Smurf will be the target, but at the end of the day, with so much support ultimates and Smurf getting pocketed, he's also just darting around the high ground. You can see from the LOS, of the POV rather, of Sashin, just can't get a look at Smurf at all. Now the rally coming in.
For the dive. We're trying to find the dive there on Alengza. Can't get the kill. Molly just kiting back. Nano now going to be invested. Goes on to Alengza, trying to keep him alive. Molly ends up losing his life. Alengza does manage to put used to it. Finds 1 kill. Meanwhile, Cart, Becky running from the back, just trying to pull attention. It's working a treat. Easy Han, however, now going to be antied out. The bubble goes forward. They go ahead, cleanse that one off. Good from Sashin to keep him alive. Real shot at the ready. He's just trying to break this bubble. Trying to find a target. So far, they're all eluding him. 17 seconds remaining. The Valiant, can they get the final push?
Well, Dynasty have ults online again, so this is the problem, is that as Valiant walk on up, they don't even have Grav yet. We're looking at another Nano, another Primal. Smurf just has no deaths, by the way, because, well, he has some deaths, but in this point, he just hasn't really died. Doing God's work, staying up, keeping the Seoul Dynasty alive, and Sashin taken down to half HP, but not quite down.
Becky was there, had the touch, forces out the OT. Pulse v Pulse at the ready. Nano going to be used, goes over to Smurf. Sasha, the first one to fall, the grab, not going to be able to be popped here. Great sleep dart does come in. Molly shutting down the rest of that primal rage, but Iris is really starting to do some serious work. Finds the second kill. Now with Becky out of the fight. The pulse bombs, they do not matter. Prophet lets it loose, then just turns the pistols over towards Easyhan, finds the second kill. And once more, Shades of Eichenwald being shown. Is the Valiant that gets so damn close. 68.8 something meters. Locked in for themselves, but they cannot get the finish.
Now let me paint you a picture. On Soul's attack,
Please do.
they get to see. Let's take a look at first of all. Let's take a look at the double kill from Prophet again. This looks pretty sick. Oh, good stack. There's 3 players in this room. Smurf body blocks him as well. So cool.
And Becky just getting the hell out of Dodge. Paint me a picture.
Soul Dynasty are going to eventually get to see. Time will fully run out. It's gonna be OT. It's gonna be dire straits. It's gonna be. I'm gonna say it's Fitz and Smurf alive. Only 2 players alive. And then they nearly don't cap, and Valiant about to get there, but then Smurf pops a primal and just boops 1 player off, and they cap in the OT with 2 players left when they should have lost. And then we'll sit here again and say, man, it was just so close with Valiant. It was just so close. Just 1 boop. 1 boop and they cap.
Hello.
Well, it's vivid. I can see it in my head. So, thank you, Bob Ross. I appreciate it. I will hang that painting on my wall.
It's a happy little accident for LA Valiant. 3
not so
happy
happy
accidents in a row.
I think the Dynasty have had a lot of happy accidents as they accidentally have won so many fights.
I don't know that they've accidentally won so many fights. I think they earned all of those.
No, I know. I don't mean to discredit.
Alright, Fitz is on Sombra for the attack. Interested in where Fitz has gone for now, because last time he got to the back line, deleted Easyhan, and that's how they kept Eichenwald to A instantly. Well, not instantly, but that's how they got it eventually done.
Okay, there it is. He's looking for it. The bubble comes in, but this time it's going to be Langza. Ends up getting dropped. The follow-up hack is there. Easyhan seemingly doesn't know exactly where he's at. Just running into the wall.
Smurf as well.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well. It's a quick closeout.
Easyhan broke, Smurf woke. That's what that was. And it might not have been an Easyhan down early, but it was still a kill onto Langza from Fitz setting up a dive. And is this a free cap? I don't even think LA Valley can touch. No. Oh, barely.
Okay. Becky's
no
there
one
for
else
just a moment, but
it's just
that's
Becky.
it.
It's just Becky.
Yeah, it's just Becky. Well. Half a second burned. He doesn't die for it. He's going to have the pulse bomb ahead of Prophet by a decent margin. I say that. Prophet just instantly gains 12%, so maybe not. Pulse bomb used by Becky off screen as we watch for Fitz on his setup.
Look at the Nano for Iris as well. That'll be the first ultimate online. So they can set up a dive with Nano Smurf. Oh, Fitz has got Molly. Yeah, this will be the dive for sure. He'll be pinging out Molly saying, over here, fellas.
Okay, they're looking for it. Nade goes down. Dark not going to connect. It's able to exit before that. Becky does get Prophet. Nice little cleanup kill. Easyhan.
How Valiant turned this around.
Venham, and okay, yeah, they just completely shifted. It's almost like they set him out. Just
that was a sting operation.
Yeah, Langza was bait.
It was. Molly, I think Molly was the bait there because he was dived upon and then just waited out the 1.75 seconds, instantly bionated himself, and yeah, the rest of it was the there was a Molly sting operation. They found the Molly production plant.
Yep. Well, what a turnaround for the Valiant. Dynasty though, still a good amount of time to work with. There's the coach gun, quick little tap in the head for Smurf. Some fancy shooting being shown off here by Easyhan, but there's the EMP, and instantly Langza evaporates. Sasha staying alive for now, about half HP. Nearly has the grab, but now Molly will fall. Sasha goes down shortly thereafter. Smurf to clean up, 2 kills for him in the Primal Rage. Nicely executed this time around here from the side of the Dynasty. Imagine we'll get them damn close to the cap.
So the hack icon overrides the nano icon. So again, I have no idea who got nano there, but somebody received the nano on the Valiant. Soul making that final.
Sure.
Gravel coming through now.
Maybe it went to Langza and then he just died so quickly. Oh, Bob going to be woken up all the same. Grab now. Best and Smurf going to be the first one to get dropped. Vinheim falling shortly thereafter. Good return here from the side of the Valiant. Just making sure they can't get that cap. Cleanup will be there. They lose 2, but Dynasty can't really stay in this position. Come on, you can do it, Sasha. I believe in you.
High ground, but
I believe in him.
I think you can do it with 2. If you right-click in the air and then time both the right-clicks together, you can do it for sure.
I would think
That's
that if
some
he's
hardcore
trying it, you
Zarya
should,
tech.
perhaps you could do it with 1. Sasha should be
don't know.
well enough first to know what is and is not possible. Either way, Fitz, there's the dive. Just consistently looking for Easy Han. This time it does work out for them. They find the kill, the rally rolling from Langza.
Oh,
The
that's a
anti
big
goes
fire.
out onto him and Molly. In the bubble, Sasha can only offer up 1. Goes to Molly, Langza, or rather goes to Langza, and Molly does end up getting dropped. Now they're looking for the cleanup. There's too much pressure being applied. Sasha crumbling under it. The cart will continue to advance once more. Looks like it's going to be another minute and a half added to the time bank here for the Dynasty as they look for the 3-0 closeout.
Just the cap. Another sick buyer as well
It is.
into Beck and Easy Han this time. They just can't do anything to really affect this point. I think it actually, here's the funny thing, I think the cleanse actually did go into Molly, but he just died through it anyway. Because Linksa was rallying right, so he rallied through the anti, whereas Molly, I don't know, despite the bubble, just could survive. EMP will be available now. Fitz already spots back line, he sees both supports. Smurf's
Somehow
going to
they
see the
don't see
Smurf
him.
in the extremity, he's going to ready to dive. So that's the setup.
Yeah. And the dive will also give him the primal, so he can really have a long stay in that back line.
Fitz will also get the EMP off that damage too, so...
Okay, there's the hack. They look for the kill. Molly,
That's
Scoop
what
was
you want.
stomped out of existence, and Fitz makes his casual little exit. 45 HP remaining. His job here is done. Easy Han, however, nice shot. This man should take down Prophet. Smurf just looking to try to corral them around the side.
Easy Han.
Fitz ends up dying. They're going to turn the fight. Smurf unable to pop the primal, or maybe just decided to hold it either way. It's definitely the right move as Becky will clean up too. And what starts off as a nicely executed dive onto Molly gets turned on its head once more by the Valiant. They just know how to play around this.
It's another 4v5 one as well. I mean, this time they don't save Molly, but Easy Han frags it. He one-taps Prophet, I have to imagine. Kills Fitz, kills everyone, doesn't have to burn the Bob. And Valiant survive, and this is what I'm saying though, right? Like, this is going to go to maximum time. Like, I guarantee you, if Soul wins this map, they'll do it in the OT. Because Valiant will push them that far. Grab's coming on, Nano's coming on. Yeah, this is going to be a big fight. Look how many ultimates for both teams available.
Jumping in yet again, Pulse Bomb.
Bubbled.
Going to be bubbled off, I
Molly
believe.
will save.
Yes, Sasha, I think saving his life now. The Nano coming through. Molly saying, thank you so much for that. Here's a Nano boost. Sasha will gratefully take it.
Oh, it's a
The
long
lob
range.
in. He finds both of them, and Molly scoops the kills with the ante. The Valiant are just playing this immaculately.
Oh, and a late death on the Smurf. I'd love to see that.
Yep.
Or just
Smurf
burn more time.
still
Like,
holds
again,
the primal.
I've
Just hasn't been able to use it.
My picture's currently being framed, and if you remember what I said, this is going to go all that you're right now. Everyone's being baited into thinking, "Wow, don't the Valiant look good? Don't they look like they're about to win this map and hold the Soul Dynasty on C?" Wait till the OT. I promise you, this goes to OT, and then Valiant just in the final moments somehow soul cap. It'll happen. Yeah,
let's try it
Links
again.
to respond.
Okay. Does survive. Sasha, however, does not. Everybody exiting off the backside of the truck. Sasha up front ends up falling. A good pick to be found, but Becky answers back. It's going to be Vinheim out of the fight. Smurf, once more, diving forward. Still holding on to the primal. Still trying to find time to utilize this one. But Fitz just gets gunned down from behind. It's the most casual kill I've ever seen from Becky. He just walks right at him. And Smurf again says, okay, I need to exit. I need to hold on to the ult because this is not the fight. We've lost too many members. He's trying to hold the Mega Room as they wait for everybody else to rejoin. 38
EMP.
seconds remaining
This is how
now.
This actually looks a lot like Icon Boulder, right, where they're about to push on in, the Nano's nearly available. This time the Nano's not quite there before the EMP, but it's a similar sort of stage. How long can Salt wait for this one? They're going to have to find the EMP, and now also the Nano mid-fight. Prophet can look for a
Going down
pulse.
to the wire. Okay. Pressure being applied here into the back line. Smurf falling lower. The EMP goes through. It manages to find 3. Quick cleanup. It's coming through. Just smacking them away. Routing them
Nano's
back
coming
up the
next.
opposite side of the truck. Becky taken down, and there you go.
Okay, well,
not quite.
right.
Not quite the same picture you were painting. We didn't make it into overtime, but you got damn close. So I'd say a very good effort in your prediction there, Avril. But, again, it is just down to the wire. So close to being held. But the Valiant just cannot stop them. The Dynasty, they just play it patiently. They say, it's fine. We don't need to finish this one with time. We already have the win condition locked in because we started on the defense. They wait until they have all the tools properly aligned. They pull the trigger, and they get the win 3-0. But this is, once more, not a 3-0 that tells the story of this series.
Yeah, it's very much a 3-0. That is not a 3-0 because
no, this
you
felt
have
like
to
a 5
really
map.
examine. You have to examine those maps again and be like, wait a minute, there's double 99s on first map, and then like full OTs in the rest of the two maps. Well, I mean, maybe the last Soul push ended up not being an OT. That's the thing I'm most annoyed about Achilleos is that I was this close. I was this damn close, like seconds off from that eventually being realized. So. You know what? I'm going to frame that picture up and hang it on my wall anyway.
It's just kind of, there's a little scuff mark. You know, the shading wasn't done quite right.
I messed
on
up the
trees
signature.
in this one little section.
I was trying to signature it at the end, and then I just kind of messed it up. Like, damn it, the last stroke was just not good, but the rest of it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good series, and one that I'm grateful for, because oftentimes when you see a team that's on the upper echelon and a team that's 14-4, you say, okay, this isn't going to be as nearly as exciting, but no, in APAC, it always delivers, baby. That's right. A great match here between the two, but let's go ahead and give our player of the match out. This one is going to be going not to Prophet, who oftentimes is the guy who's soaking them up, but to Smurf, who is holding things down to the front line consistently.
That's right. Here in the Overwatch League, we celebrate tanks. And I think especially that last map was very, like, I mean, it was pretty good from Smurf all the way around, but really to me, like, when I was starting to go like, wow, damn, Smurf is doing some really cool stuff. Just playing LOS on that C point as the Winston, setting up dives, like how cool were all the dives that he set up with Fitz and Prophet, mainly with Fitz. You know, you see the hack coming on in, and then boom, Smurf just arrives on time. Like, it was just so good to see. Ike and Volder as well, some really sick plays. Well supported, I gotta say, Eris has been integrated quite nicely. Like, there were some very specific moments during the course of the series today where I was like, dude, Eris is pocketing quite brilliantly. He's not missing any of these Ana shots. Had a couple of critical sleep darts in there. Like, he had the sleep onto, I think, Easy Home when he got nanoed or something like that. Eris had the sleep. So, yeah. Great team effort, led by Smurf, and a deserved player of the match.
Continues to excel, especially when it comes down to that Winston play. I mean, the guy's movement and just timing and whatnot is just impeccable. So many times, especially on that last stretch of Route 66, a lesser Winston would have just popped that Primal Rage, ended up wasting it. Smurf knows that it's not the fight. He knows that he needs to hold it, and he's got the wherewithal, and he's got the knowledge to just go ahead and say, you know what, it's not the time. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. Holds on to it, and then in the end, manages to find an immense amount of value from it. So, well-deserved player of the match there from the side of Smurf, but still, I think a call for praise on the side of the Valiant, as well as maybe a slight call for concern for the Dynasty coming into this last tournament of the year ahead of the playoffs, because the Valiant, looking so much better than we could have ever anticipated. The cohesion, the comms, clearly were widely very, very good from them, better than I think we've seen from them all season long. Whereas it felt like there was a little bit of disjointedness from the side of the Dynasty.
Right. You know what, though? Unfortunately, I'm going to crush all that by saying that it actually makes no difference with Seoul, because at this point, they're so far ahead in points, they could literally lose every single match for the entirety of the stage and just auto-qualify for playoffs. There's no tournament for Countdown Cup. We just go to the play-ins in the playoffs.
Sure. And
Seoul skip play-ins. They have 20 points. The next guy down is Spark at 12. Seoul are ahead by 8 points, which means if they go 0-6, Spark still can't catch up. So Seoul, at this point, I don't know, they can literally just go on vacation and just chill out. I don't know, they're that far ahead. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's maybe a little concerning that Valiant playing them close. I'm actually going to chalk that up to Valiant being impressive, rather than that being too many sirens for the Seoul Dynasty.
All right. Well, ever the optimist there for the side of the Dynasty, and you're right. You know, the road is already paved for them. They just have to trek along at whatever leisurely pace they decide. But something tells me, knowing these players, knowing the org as well, They're not going to settle for just sitting back and resting on the points that they've already accrued. They want more points, even if it doesn't mean a damn thing in the end. But yeah, I'm hoping that this is not just a flash in the pan here from the side of Valiant. Don't give us that Chengdu treatment. Don't just look really good at the start of this stage. Continue it. Continue to improve and build upon what we saw here today. If they can do that, then they're definitely going to be a threat here during the Countdown Cup qualifiers. But all the same, it's time for us to stop talking. It's time for us to go ahead and end the evening. It's been a wonderful little evening, though. 3-1 for our first series, a 3-0. Again, that does not tell the story in our second one, but that does it for us tonight, so we must bid you all adieu. But we will see you all again tomorrow alongside Trid and Vicky Kitty, bringing you guys the action for a 3-match day Saturday. It's going to be action-packed, so make sure you guys tune in. Same place, same time.